Never mind me while I'm stepping out my circumference. I feel the nerves trickling down. It's life humbling. My words stutter, stumbling, staggered, I'm caught off guard. This the life of a jigaboo, introverted, I'm scarred. Whoa, my murder been the melodies while they sing the choruses. Direct message from Slade saying we need more of it. Paranoia in my state, I see envy at high rates. Now it's crop off the fate, turn great so I fly straight. Was gone for a minute, now I'm back like an X with big factors. I see you turn flat like extinct like some raptors. When I drop through prayer, precision, practice and patience, we move to greener pastures. They're saying life is a matter of mastering basics and mastering patience. More time I get tired of waiting. Maybe it's fate procrastinating. The times are bad, so it really had me sprung. Like she got me doing things that I never do. You thought that we connected when in fact it was trauma bonding. Just leave it up to me to break the rules, never corresponding. My childhood filled with fence climbs and knee scrapes and bikes and kicking it by the street signs. The older I get, I'm trying to lessen any screen time. The bounce back heavy, I rock steady on climb. This world's a fucking loop, the news will pick and choose whatever truth they wanna give to you. I cannot stomach it, so I poop. Oops. When life turns sweeter, the lemon mouths get louder. But I'm amplified with ghosts from God like that boy Fowler. Working like I got that point to prove. But truth be told, the proof is right in the pudding, no point to lose. 60 for the crepes, yeah, I did that just because. She expecting more, girl, you know I'm saving up. Left me on red, well, it was what it was. Never stress over them joints or in downs when times get rough, so I ghost. Long are the days when we was close, and when I see you, it's like two completely different type of ghosts. I approach the weekly fire dropping, which I'm feeding. Still, I don't expect to be the one, your boy having fun. Still, the songs get spun like Beyblades and teacups. My fun fair to those that ever really know me from jump. So what's up, I've been the one they all depended on like TJ. Now they're dead wilder than a furry knockout punch, leaving them straight stunned. This hella through the lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Monday morning. We are ready to attack another week. I hope everybody is blessed in the building, YouTube, Twitter, whatever the case may be. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. Guys, big up everybody in the chat. Big up everybody watching this morning. Please make sure you do smash the like, share, and subscribe. The usual content rubbish that we've got to kind of get through, you know, the disclaimer part that we've got to do at beginning and ending of shows. Now we're done and dusted. I'm joined this morning by my guy Savage in the building. Chat to me, bro, man. How you doing this morning, man?
Morning, bro. How you saying, man? Good, man.
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, literally, man. I just but I don't know, man. I think I'm like getting a little bit of an eye infection, man. So I had to go to the chemist, get that sorted out.
What job you saying on your face, man?
Say that again?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, more of hay fever or something. But yeah, I'm saying, but
yeah, bro, you know what it is? I remember I had a sty like in my eye, maybe like this time, literally this time last year. Yeah. So I don't know if it's just come back because it never really went away. That was the annoying thing. It never actually really went away.
How do you get rid of them?
I mean, when I went to the chemist, she just gave me some some ointment thing to just rub on the eye. But when I had it last time, it got so bad that my eye started to swell crazy to the point where I had to go to the hospital and they had to basically inject all the crap that was in there. And then, bro, it was mad. Bro, it was mad. It was caused by I had a reaction to something that I never. I had a reaction to something. It was some type of cleaning product. Some
okay, that's what we're calling it. Yeah, all right. I know, that's the family-friendly version. All right.
Some kind of cleaning product. Anyways, so I had a reaction to it, but it was funny because it was something that my girl had used because I've never I don't use that same cleaning product at my house. So when I was at her house and she cleaned the clothes, that whatever that was, that's obviously what caused it. But it just got to the point. I'm the type of person, I don't go to the doctors like just willy-nilly. Like I kind of just let that bro, it'll go away when it goes away. Like when I get a cold, oh, it'll go away when it goes away. Like I just let it just sit there. That was the wrong thing to do because it got worse and it wasn't pretty. I promise you that, bro. It probably wasn't pretty.
Yeah, that's one of the things we have to do getting older, bro. Take care of yourself, innit? I'm like,
Bro.
I don't touch doctors at all, hardly ever, bro.
Bro, never. As in, bro, I've got to be, on death's door almost. And even then, I'm like, do I really want to do the NHS waiting times? I don't know, man. Guys, if you can go private.
The property I'm in now moved in lockdown, and I haven't been inside the doctors.
Oh, okay. See, that's good though. That's good. You're keeping yourself in good
shape. Yeah, it's one of them, man. Well, no, man, have to get MOT and that and find out.
Oh, bro, we spoke about this before, man. Guys, if you can get private because these NHS waiting times, I promise you, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to get my wisdom tooth removed. I had an appointment. We're in April. I had this appointment. In fact, I had this appointment last year, April. They said, yeah, we'll book you in. Brother, we're still here a year later. Wisdom tooth still moving crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another day. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Ends, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Big up Steve in the building. Savage versus Steve tomorrow. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich.
Come on, bro. You know the vibes.
Yeah. Who do I really want to win? Hey, Bayern Munich every day, man. Hope they do that thing. Hollywood Rock. We qualified for the Champions League. Yay. Yep. We'll talk about that. Word on the street, it was something that, see, look, you man are you're moving, man. Let me even just ignore that right there. Anyways, guys, you know why we're here. You can see the caption. Hopefully you saw, let me put the thumbnail back up for you guys. You saw the thumbnail. You know what's kind of been going on with Liverpool. Title race, the Mo Salah thing. I purposely did not speak about it yesterday because I already knew where that conversation was going to head. And from when we spent like an hour speaking about Nunes, we would have spent 3 hours talking about the whole Salah situation. So I said, we'll save it, of course, for today. And of course, looking at the performances, just really of Liverpool, I've got a few things to post up, and then you guys can, of course, see that for yourselves. But we'll start off, obviously, the bait one. Get this one done and dusted. Let's rip the band-aid off. The title race is obviously done and dusted. Savage, I know yourself and a couple others at the beginning of the season, like you did think Liverpool would, of course, win the league. And to be honest, at one point in the season, it was kind of looking like, FC might have been the Oracle. Do you know what I mean? They might have been them, man. Yeah. Because it looked like Liverpool were heading down that kind of path. Obviously, you never know anyway, but there was a stage, and I would admit, there was a stage in the season where you did think, you know what? I feel like Liverpool are moving in that kind of direction where it's only going to be us or, say, Manchester City, because we probably assume maybe Arsenal might just tail off towards the back end. But it's looking like, it is like we've tailed off. When we're looking at the title race, just in a general sense, especially these last few weeks, man, how are you looking at the season? Because it's looking like, barring something happening in the last, 3 or 4 games, for Manchester City.
Yeah, basically, barring all of them losing all their games, forget about it.
Yeah, basically. So when you're looking at the title race yourself, how are you feeling behind it?
I'm actually fine, bruv. I'm actually not frustrated about not winning the title at all. And then it sounds crazy because I was the one saying I think we're going to win the title. But as I told you and Jerry, I'm quite honest with, I didn't have, it wasn't based on any football, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone should have a problem doing that as long as you explain yourself on it. Because when if you two decide to have a logical conversation about why Man City or Arsenal's better, as you've heard me, every time we have that, I say that we're the third best team.
Yeah.
And you could argue that we're closer to Villa than we are the other two. Based on how the season's gone, because I enjoy Villa's football more. It's disappointing. Okay, so for example, I think most people said after the United game it's done.
Yeah,
I tried to keep the faith in that, but obviously, and kind of not the opposite to what you've done, but we had our conversations early in the season where it's like, but we know how Man City do, the experience and blah blah blah. And I'm always like, because it's Liverpool in the race, and you try and have a bit more positivity, and you go, okay, but at some point, which is true, none of us can be right or wrong in this, but at some point, even though City's experience does carry them over the line moment after moment, there will be a point in life where it won't happen. And my thing was more on the optimism of maybe this season it won't happen. And I actually think like the way the season was going, I felt more with my prediction that I was kind of right based on I never said the first thing I said this season was City's not the same. This is before the season started. But I said they're not the same, but they're still the best team, which meant to me they're not the same, but it means that everyone else has got a chance to get closer to them.
Yeah.
The difference is
I agree with that.
I didn't know Arsenal was going to be as good. Like
Same.
Yeah, I thought there was a period where Arsenal fans didn't like their football this season, and they were moaning about.
Yeah, I remember. They tried to act like we don't remember them conversations, bro.
Yeah, they were basically saying, "Yo, last season was like it was exciting football from Arsenal out of the blocks, destroying teams within like a couple of minutes, and that was 3-0 in the first 20 minutes." And then it felt like he abandoned nearly everything he'd done last season and went completely the opposite way. And they weren't happy with it because they're like, "Yo, you can't completely abandon the attacking football." But that's because there wasn't scoring goals. Once that turned, they were more happy with it, and it's almost identical to what Liverpool done. It's almost identical when we finished a point behind City, and the season after was like, nah, we can't do this, bro. Let's shore up the defense and let's go and smash these teams, and we did. And ours was a bit more exciting football, so that's that. And then obviously there was that period when Man City went to the World Club Cup, and Arsenal and Liverpool should have took advantage of both of us drop points, and that's when I was like, this isn't really good, man, because City's not playing well. But you've just let them off with this period. They should have been like 8 points behind by the time they come back. They came back with like 2 points behind or something. So I'm more disappointed with the way the players have gone out. I was fine, like, okay, you drew with United. And from that period, we didn't win the league because Arsenal and City just won their games and done what they needed to do. Safe, and I wouldn't even have been mad. I'm like, people can draw games. It's the fact that from that game, it was like March 17th. It's just continuous, like, dropping out of different tournaments and stuff. You don't even have the Europa League to balance out the way you form in the Prem's dropped off. Everything's dropped off together. And, you know, when you take the emotion out of it, this actually does happen every season to every team because not everyone can, only one person can win the Prem. Only one person can win the Europa League and the Champions League in it. So apart from when City take everything, this is actually normal. Like it happens to every team every single season. But
all three teams have had their dips. Like
of course, exactly. And you know, I mean, the season could end, even depending on how it ends, the season could still end worse for Arsenal than Liverpool because if they don't win the league, they've left the league with no thingy silverware.
Yeah,
and they're just in the same position as Liverpool. Both got Champions League football, but we have a trophy. So it's more on the case of like it's just disappointing how the play's been. You know what I mean? At least can I enjoy the football? Can you you lost points to Man U. You're not going to win every game, but can you play good football and put the ball in the back and give the fans something to cheer about and stuff? But nah, it looks like they ran out of steam, ideas, willpower, any possibility to fight. And as I said, there is people in the team that when I watch them, even if their football's not great, they look like they're trying. They look like they want to win the game. But if that's only like 2 or 3 players, and you've got like over 8 players on the pitch who don't want to do it, then it's kind of pointless. You just look like a guy who runs around. So it's one of them, man. I'm not too mad at it. Obviously, Salah and Klopp thing, I'll calm down about it now. But yeah, that's just that was more the fact of it looked a mess on the club more than anything because that's literally we're the furthest club away from anything like that. But hey, it's football.
Nah, it's true, man. Big up Cav in the building, my bro. Hope you're doing well this morning. Nah, and to be honest, look, I agree, man. And what you said there about teams, every team, well, the top 3 teams anyway. To be honest, every team, but
every team, yeah,
they will have their dips. It's just about when.
When is important? When is important? It seems like Man City's perfect.
And that's the key. That's the key right there. Is like when it's so key for how you're trying to win a title. Obviously, if you can be lucky and it's like you have a dip, you could still have a dip now, but you've built up such a mad lead from before that it doesn't even really matter, of course. But title races don't really run like that, to be honest with you. They usually come the end of the season. Because it's usually only been a 2-horse race, Liverpool, Manchester City, it was kind of different. It's basically what you see now from Arsenal, Manchester City, where City are going to win their game in hand, most likely, for example. even if they get a draw, I mean, they'll be level on points. So it's gonna, it's been like that for in terms of Liverpool, Manchester City, where back end of the season, my brother, I promise you can't lose a game. Can't lose a game. So when Liverpool and Arsenal both did lose that game, when it's like, because we know City, and regardless, of course, we all want Liverpool to win the Premier League,
of course, yeah.
But you just know, like, we've watched this team for the last 5 years, bro. 5, 6 since Pep's been here. We know what these are about. Forget how good we think we've been, how good we think Arsenal have been, how good they've been this season. Forget all of that. We know what City are about. Unless City are way behind, and I'm talking, it would have needed to have been like 10 points. And
the thing is not helped, does it? Them getting knocked out of Champions League is not helped.
Yeah, and that's what we were all hoping for, was that they go through. They've got another game to kind of contend with, because even if you look at the game that they played against Nottingham Forest, they played like kind of dead for their standard.
Nottingham was good, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. Like, I was watching the game thinking, "Ish, yo, City, like this could be a bit of a hiccup for you now. Like the way you're playing, anyway, it looks like it was going to be a potential hiccup." And if I'm being honest, Forest should at least be scoring one of those. Like, Chris,
Morello
should be scoring in this. Morello, like, bro, I forgot about that chance. Yeah, he straight over the bot. Like, little things are happening in the game, which is obviously going in their favor. But of course, if you don't take your chances, it's a bit like Liverpool this season.
I feel like there's a couple of things on Man City that even what I've rated, I think I've even underrated it.
Yeah,
watching them, that I think I asked you, what stream was it? 2 days ago. I asked you, does De Bruyne ever win any individual awards?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
They've lost Gundogan. They've lost Mahrez.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Aguero and all these people anymore. He's the remaining. He was there before Guardiola got there, innit?
Yeah.
And he had half of a season this season because he was injured for the first half.
Oh yes,
did he? Broski, all of the games in this final running, he's either been man of the match, or he's had 2 assists in the game, or he's had assist and a goal. I watched him yesterday. When he come off the pitch, he looked tired as shit because he was doing everything. He tracks back. He passing the shoot. Bro, like this skeezer might end up being the most. I don't even know, bro. Like, he's overrated and underrated at the same time, bro.
Yeah, but I think he's only overrated by people who try to put others, like, they're trying to put everyone ahead of him. So, which is fine. Like, bro, if you think Gerrard is better, whatever, that's fine. Yeah. But you do too much. Like, you're going too far now. Where it's you're like, oh, but he could never do like the Steven Gerrard. That's the one that always gets compared. And I'm like, you got to realize, bro, they're two kind of different players. Like, they're not the same. Like, he's not a combative type of guy where Gerrard is literally. I know you're saying that, Kevin De Bruyne did everything yesterday, but in general, Gerrard was that kind of guy. Remember the team that he was in. He had to be that guy. Exactly. And Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have to be that guy.
I agree with you. He's normally overrated by people who will just go, he's better than every Premier League player ever.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, I mean, we can talk.
He might not be Man City's best ever player.
Yeah.
Some people don't, you know what I mean? And then the other person is Guardiola, bro. You always try and keep up the argument for the sake of it. And I don't even need... The trophies are important, of course, when you're talking about managers, because it's fine margins if you're going to talk about the elite and who's the best and stuff. Mm-hmm. Broski, this is him, bro, because players come and go, and he's still the remaining person, bro. And I heard him interviewing before the game yesterday. He sounded calm as shit, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't sound worried at all. Asked him after the game. He's like, oh, yeah, of course I prefer that Arsenal lost, but they didn't. So, yeah, we know what we have to do. I said,
yeah, he just looked like this is just another day at the office, like just a casual day.
Bro, I don't... Because any other argument, whether... Unless it's just your favourite. Because to me, Mourinho's the best ever on it. But then there's of course arguments to say he's not, and he's the past Mourinho of the last decade, while Guardiola's been killing it, isn't the same. But
yeah, of course.
If I'm just like subjectively and that, objectively, I think he might be the best manager ever, bro. Like, bro, it's kind of ridiculous. Because anything you're gonna try to tarnish him with, you're never gonna find out. Oh, can he manage Bournemouth? Well, we're never gonna find out. So it doesn't really matter, does it? I wouldn't put it past him leaving Man City and joining the international team and winning the trophy there as well, bro. So.
Yeah, and you just not even on Mourinho. I mean, like, people like this, like Mourinho and Guardiola, like, One, with Guardiola, we're never going to find that. Man's not going to go down to them kind of levels.
Yeah.
But then even then, when they tried to then throw that same thing with like Mourinho, but when he went to Roma and won a trophy. Like these guys are really the top echelons. Obviously, we'll keep people mention the Bob Paisleys, the Sir Alex Fergusons, and rightly so. They also deserve to be in these conversations too. I'm not saying that they don't, but if we're just talking this generation, I can't lie. I look at Pep and I just think to myself, bro, you got to understand, not only have you dominated every league that you've been in, but in Spain, you dominated with Barcelona. In Germany, obviously, Bayern Munich, you was going to do that anyway. You came to England, you dominated over here. Bro, you're dominating to a mad effect. And it's not even a domination. Brother, you played 3 different styles of football in all 3 different countries, to the point where in every country, they started to copy what you were trying to do. Obviously, I listened to Schweinsteiger's interview, and he mentioned about Guardiola, the influence him coming in, and the German kind of national team and Germany in general, just almost losing their own kind of like their essence, like what they're really made of. And I understand, I get it. Like at that part, I kind of do agree, because he came in and to make it so technical and just so different to what they were already used to and what made them who they were. I understand all of that. But then either way, he's still done it. And teams still subconsciously still do those little things that he does. In England, we've already seen. How many teams play? Arsenal, Manchester, like these Arsenal, Brighton, all these teams play so similar to what he's been doing. Not saying he's the architect, because I know people are going to say, but he wasn't the first guy. I'm not.
People have to stop that though, man.
Bro, but they're talking about man in 1950, and I'm like,
if everyone says anything about Pep, people go, yeah, but you got to understand, he copied it from Cruyff. Baby, there's copying and then there's learning from, man, bro.
Exactly.
It's 2 different things, because the football's not the same. It's not the same, bro. And this man, without doing it on purpose, is like, everywhere he goes, he ends up getting the whole league to play football how he's playing football. But that means you can't be better than him, because it's his way. He's got every goalkeeper passing out from the back, and 90% of the goalkeepers can't do it.
Yeah. We're judging the goalkeepers now. Like we're like, he can't pass out from the back.
Yeah, like, exactly. We're literally watching goalkeepers who can make world-class saves and then going, he ain't it though, because he's passing shit. Yeah. Where back in the day, man was just taking goal kicks, bro.
Look how we talk about. Look how me and you spoke about Alisson when we were talking about. And take away Alisson's being able to pass. If you just took that away and Alisson just played like a normal keeper,
he's one of the best goalkeepers ever without that,
bro. 100%, bro. And this is the thing. But again, this is what I mean about the influence of someone like him. And again, they're sitting a point behind. It is what it is. Obviously, for us, I mean, we're just happy that we've made the top 4. What I don't like, and I said this yesterday, though, and you haven't said this, by the way, this is more to everybody else. What I don't like, and what I want people to do, is keep the level of consistency, bro. At the beginning of the season, you thought whatever you thought. Whether you think we're going to win the league, not win the league, finish 4th, whatever. I don't really care. As the season obviously has gone on, we all changed our thing. And in terms of like myself and other people, we changed what we thought was going to happen. Yo, we're in the title race. I think we can win the league, blah, 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 which we should have, because I also thought we'd win the league as well, considering where we were at one point in the season. Now we've come to the end of the season, or like to these last 2-3 games, right? Everyone's doing the whole, I know it was in tongue in cheek. It was like, as long as we can get top 4, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, Aston Villa, something crazy might happen. You know what? The challenge at the start of the season was to get top. Forget what the challenge at the start of the season was. That challenge changed midway through the season.
You are right about that. Like, to be fair, Klopp and Virgil said the same thing as you're saying.
But Savage, exactly. This is the point where I don't understand.
Virgil said after the Everton game, he said, I don't care what. He said, at the beginning of the season, no one expected us to be here. But he said, I don't care about that, because we're here now. And
thank you.
I do get what you're saying. Sometimes people use it as an argument. It's the extremist thing again, and it ends up being a defense mechanism. Yes. Because you don't like the way people are sounding about the club. You end up going, well, you said this, so why should it be? And I get it. But realistically, it is life, isn't it? Like, that is always like that. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? What did you want for Christmas? Mom, I'd really like it if I can have a PlayStation, and it, like, you know what I mean? And then back in the day, and then you open the present, you get close to Christmas, and that you're like, your PlayStation Reborn's out. I kind of want PlayStation Reborn now. You rip it open, it's the PlayStation, brother. Like, nah, I'm appreciating that, bro.
But that's not what I would like.
Still, so, you know what I mean? She's like, but you said last year in January. I said, yeah, but it's December. Yeah. You know, see the adverts, blood.
What, you're not
Sort of
watching the same
one-
programs I'm watching? Nah.
Yeah. No, it's old now. Your mum got you FIFA 2023 in 2024. Mum, I understand, bruv. You obviously don't know how the numbers work. It's too late now. Let's just get me the up to date one. Bruv.
Didn't you wonder why it was so cheap? Like why it was so much cheaper than the the original kind of prices? Like, listen, don't bring me back to my childhood, bro. There's too many bad memories there with presents and not getting the present that these times I wanted. I remember I used to obviously I'll pop it into WF, right? So I used to have like all the SmackDown toys and stuff like that. I had the ring, I had like the Rock, Triple H, Gold. I had a Goldberg toy. There was Matt and Jeff Hardy, and obviously me and my brother, obviously whatever, used to play with the action figures and blah blah blah. But I remember I wanted maybe there was like one Christmas I wanted a WWE ring, right?
Yeah.
With I think it was Triple H, and my brother wanted someone else. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
He wanted someone else. I wanted Triple H, right? And I wanted FIFA 2000 at the time. So we're thinking, like, obviously, me and my brother, you got to kind of orchestrate it. Like, all right, you ask for this and I ask for this, then we both get this at the same time. So at least then it's kind of calm. Yeah, when it came to thing, I remember getting the FIFA 2000, because she gave me that first. And I was like, okay, calm. Like, so that was we're getting, because I could also see another big, like a biggish kind of box. Yeah, how can she only get me the ring with no action figure? And she was like, but you've got the toys. I said, yeah, but obviously I need like these action figures now, like to play. Like, thank you for the ring, like thank you, because now I got the WWE thing. But I also wanted like these action. Listen, man, too many bad memories, bro. Don't bring me down that memory lane, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say, man. I remember the first time that my act of disappointment, I said something. It was the last time I ever said anything about it. No. My mom got me like I was waiting for the Red Ranger and that blood, and she got me a Red Ranger cake.
Yeah.
And I was just like, now this cake's cold still, but it was the I remember it was the Bandai one where you flip the head inside the chest and then it turns the mask on. I'm like, no, Mom, where's the thing? She's like, okay, you want to do that? You're like, get out of the room. She's like, I'm dashing the cake away and that. She didn't. She put the cake in the cupboard in it, but I really thought she dashed the cake away.
Yeah, she dashed it away, of course.
I was broken, bro. I said, this birthday is shit, boy. I never said anything again, bro. Never said anything again, bro. Like, let me just be grateful, bro.
Bro, this is why they were clever, man. They used to manipulate us in many different ways. But
pure manipulation, bro.
But nah, like, listen, I think, and obviously me and Savage talking about that there, like, it's the same thing with Liverpool and the expectations. Like, what?
Yeah, for PS2, you got a Bible, bro.
Who said that? Who said? Let me see if I can find the comments.
Man said he asked for PS2 and got God, blood. That's fucked, bro.
Yo, your mom said pray on that one. You're gonna have to pray on that one, my guy. Yo. I said gold dust. Nah, I didn't want gold dust at all. I used to think that brother was a bit weird.
No one ever asked for gold dust, blood.
Yeah.
That thing was always on the shelf in August, but we never got touched.
Yeah, man. Like, especially in if I used to go to like Woolworths or something. Yeah, man, ain't seeing no.
My dad used to get so offended when gold dust was on the screen, boy.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, he was. Yeah, nah. Like, he made me feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. There was something about gold dust that I used to just think, yeah, nah. We ain't running the gold dust thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, ultimately, as you guys are saying here, like, expect changes change, and that's fine, bro. Like, I'm not saying that you're even now. I'm not also, by the way, calling it a failure this season. Where, like, I'm not going to that level of extreme where I'm like, oh well, this was just a failure. Obviously, the only way I would have seen it as a failure is if man was like 10 points clear at some point, and then all of a sudden we just
that's a question for you, bro. I was going to ask you this because I was watching Talksport before I come on, and I was looking in their chat, and I know this is an online thing because it's especially over the last couple of years. If man get offended, then it's your fault, innit? You know this bottling culture thing, bro.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't make for good football conversation. Like, I have to let man know that, bro. As soon as you start talking like that, I don't want to have a conversation with you about football, bro.
No,
because we've grown up and people use the word bottle. People have used that everywhere in life, and it's bottled. This bottle, but that usually comes from the term of you're in an advantageous position.
Yeah,
to damn near 100% get something like. So if it's a prem, you got your hand on the trophy damn near, And at this point, even the bookies wouldn't have you falling off.
Yeah.
Then you don't do it. And you're playing against easy teams. That is like bottling it, isn't it? I seen man talking about. I seen in the chat, man was still calling Arsenal bottle jobs because when they lost to Villa.
When they
just lost the game.
Yeah, for real. Like
that's it. Man can't lose games now.
And look at them now. With that loss, they're still here.
They lost on the same day we lost, and they've carried on winning straight after, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like last season, I get it. There was in an advantageous position. It was 8 points ahead of Man City. They had City about to play them as well. So obviously they beat them and then they go 11 points ahead and that. They didn't. They lost 4-1. And then from that moment, they went and played Liverpool. Again, advantageous positions. You're winning 2-0. And it's the second half. You see the game out, innit? They drew 2-2. Then West Ham, same thing, 2-2. Then Southampton, the game started. I think Southampton were like 3-0 up in the first 30 minutes. I think they ended up drawing that game still. But that I get that. But just saying everyone's a bottle job. Like when Liverpool bottled it in the thingy season when I think we drew to Leicester and West Ham. We were 11 points ahead of City. I know there was a couple of games in hand, but we were 11 points ahead.
Yeah,
I remember it because it's funny because Antonio scored in that game as well. But
yeah,
they played a quick free kick when we weren't looking, and then they went around the corner. They scored, and then the Leicester one we drew with them 0-0 or something like that. And then failed. You know what I mean? But just everything's a bottle job. That means there's no room. Like there's no room for anything. You just have to be perfect, bro. Yeah. It's not realistic, especially if you tell me that the league's the best in the. How can the league be the best in the world, but you have to be perfect in it? That doesn't even make any sense, bro. How can City's gonna win anyway, and then Arsenal don't, but they're trying their hardest, and I'm not sticking up for them. But it's stupid, and now we're having arguments like, Man City win the league now. Arteta's shit again. He's clearly not shit, bro.
Yeah, fast.
Like he's clearly not. And if you want to go out, like if Arsenal win, luckily for them, they don't have to listen to their fans, innit? Because if you go out your way to go and get rid of Arteta, bro, and think he's going to make Arsenal better, it ain't, bro.
Yeah, fast.
It's crazy, bro. Weird culture, bro.
Like, you got to realize. Yeah, bro, I agree with everything you said, bro. Like, you got to realize, first of all, even on what you just said there about the Arsenal thing, look at Liverpool. We're already trying to go, like, jump into the pool, and I ain't seeing nothing in there that's exciting enough for it to be like, let's just pluck this manager out and boom, 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 we can do all it, bro. Yeah, exactly. Like, we can't be sitting here in a position where, and this is what annoyed me. Again, I can only speak for the Liverpool fan side of things. That's why it annoyed me last season when we were calling Arsenal like bottle jobs and whatever. But then it's like we absolved ourselves from ever being a bottle job in any title race that we had been in.
Oh, like that's what Tottenham fans are going to do to Arsenal. No, Tottenham fans, Arsenal fans, Man U fans. If Arsenal don't win the league, you're going to call them bottle jobs while you're beneath them in the table, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, shut up. Like, I'll be real. I know it's early in the morning and I didn't want to go that far. Shut up. Like, I actually don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your opinion from a Chelsea fan, a United fan, from a Spurs fan. You can have an opinion. That is cool. I'm not even, but when you're trying to go too far with this opinion and you're like, yeah, but you guys are bottle jobs. So what the hell are you then? Like, what are you? Because you're not even in the conversation to be. I'd rather be known as a bottle job than nothing. Like, literally nothing. You spent the whole season doing nothing. Like, actually nothing. Chelsea
you were a waste of time.
You was waste, and you know what they used to, people used to say back in the day about, like, remember like Arsenal when under Wenger, when they used to always make Champions League, but they would always get knocked out in some like great like quarterfinals or against Bayern Munich or Barcelona. Oh, you lot are just there to make up the numbers. No, that's what you lot are doing. You're just here because we need 20 teams in this league, because by law in the Premier League, we need to have 20 teams. You guys are just making up numbers here. So when we start doing this conversation about, but you guys are bottled it, bro, forget all of that. Forget all of that. I was in a position to at least do something.
But Liverpool fans will take solace from finishing a point behind City the times when it literally was, you damn near had to be perfect to win the league, innit? Yeah. So and there's nothing wrong with thinking your team done great that season. I didn't finish the season mad at Liverpool at all. I was disappointed that we didn't win.
In that 18, I wasn't even mad.
But I was fine with them because I'm like, now you man really did as much as you can, bro. Because you can't account for when City's going to drop points or when you're going to drop points. It's going to happen. Both teams did, so that's fine, innit? But you can't have that conversation and believe in that, and at the same time think Arsenal's a bottle job. It doesn't make any sense, bro. Because what them Liverpool fans will do, and they do it to this day, they go, Oh, if Guardiola wasn't around, we'd have 4 Prems. Well,
Bro,
he
you
is
don't know
around.
that. Stop
Yes,
saying that.
you don't know that. He is around. So nobody cares. You don't get a trophy for if he wasn't around, bro. He is around.
It's bro.
So was also going to go, oh, if Arteta wasn't here, we would have won the league because Liverpool fell away. But he is here.
But he is here.
So what we talking about? It's kind of crazy, bro.
Big up Marion. Big up everyone in the comments. I'll run through some of the comments in a sec. Big up Marion. I just saw this. Was I being delusional when I thought we would walk to the final of the Europa League and then win it? I wouldn't say you're being delusional. I'm assuming, like everyone else, you looked at it. You looked at the teams in there. You looked at our team. You kind of just made that. I don't want to say assumption, but okay, cool. I'll use that word for now. That assumption that Liverpool should be getting to the final of this competition, barring that we don't meet forget even Atalanta because we weren't a bit. I know for a fact we was not looking at Atalanta prior to this. But let's say Bayern Leverkusen was probably the only team. Maybe Brighton, if you thought maybe a Premier
League.
The thing
is, when it was the beginning of the season, they weren't even looking at Leverkusen. Like Liverpool, literally the favourites of the whole thing.
Facts.
And we were just like, if a Champions League team ends up dropping down, that might be
a problem. That's what it was.
So you're not delusional. I think it's a bit like, and it's not your fault, by the way, because obviously people have stuff to do in it. But sometimes, if you're just going off the name of another team that's about to play Liverpool, that's where you can be delusional. And that's why so many people got thrown by Atalanta. Well, I was just like, no, this is how I expected them to play. Yeah. I just didn't know they were going to be as aggressive. I was more worried about their attacking play because the season before and the season before that, their attacking play under Gasperini was proper tiki-taka and they were in the box, bro. So but if you do that and you go, oh, we just got this team, I get it with teams like Sparta Prague and I get it, bro. You know what I mean? It just sounds like they ain't going to do nothing. It's like playing young boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, Liverpool was a rebuilt team. There you say with a few experienced players around it. And that might be delusional. The delusion apart from most fans, if you want to say that, and it could be me included, although I did say the reason I'm just feeling, is the belief you had in the newer players when they haven't even bedded into the team yet.
Yeah.
You just like them based on what they've done at other teams. So you all like Sabazlov, what you saw of him before Liverpool. But let's be honest, you wasn't watching him every week as a Leipzig fan. You was watching him as, I saw this highlight of Sabazlov and I saw this game and this hungry game. McAllister, you probably saw more of because of Brighton, but still, you still miss a lot of Brighton games. It feels like you watch loads, but you probably watch like 8, 6, something like that.
Yeah.
Against the top teams. So there's that as well. And then you just go through the team. Wataru most you didn't know who was anyway. So you get that kind of thing together with the fact that our attackers went through this thing where they couldn't score goals, and then that's what happens, man. You know what I mean? And you get disappointed by it. I was more excited. I think Cav mentioned it yesterday. The January period when all the young guns were in the team, and you actually made the point saying, yeah, it's fine, man, because next season you're going to be in the Champions League and this rotation won't happen. But also, Klopp wouldn't have been there either way. It was nice seeing them play, though. It was nice because it didn't feel a bit part before, like, oh, it's got 3 minutes on the pitch to look, you know what I mean, for experience. They actually were on the pitch helping us, like getting through cup games. The League Cup weren't won based off the experienced team. It was the young guns, bro. You know what I mean? It was McConnell and them, man, and Dan's and all that. So yeah, it was nice, but I mean, I'm not too disappointed that it's just one of them.
No, that's facts. It's facts. Big up honesty. Question: was the fans' expectations to win the Prem or was the fans' expectations to win the Prem or the club? Because I feel like the club wanted to get back in the Champions League, and winning the Prem was a bonus. I don't know.
Yeah, the expectation of the club. Don't include Klopp in that. The up above is Champions League. Champions League football. It's always Champions League football.
Yeah.
And just before anyone wants to get raised up by next season, it's also Champions League football.
Yeah. That I definitely agree with. The thing it's a good thing you actually just interject me there because you just said it. Don't include Klopp and them lot because I don't feel like because we heard Szoboszlai at the beginning of the season. We heard other players coming out in interviews. And I remember talking at the beginning of the season saying, you know what? This is the first time ever I've ever seen Liverpool players coming out and talking about trying to win things. Usually, obviously, maybe it's just because they're new, they're trying to, you know what I mean, just kind of adhere themselves to like the fans and stuff like whatever. But Zabozala was the one I fully remember. But I
Yeah,
know
straight
there's
away in his
another.
interview said they want to win loads of trophies, want to win the title. I think Kanate said he said we won 2 a couple of seasons ago and I won all of them this season. That was like
Yeah,
not
Trent
long ago.
obviously has spoken about it at times earlier on in it. Like this was the first time I've ever heard Liverpool players
Yeah.
being so outspoken about actually trying to win when usually, and hey, whether we want to cuss my man or not, when Hendo and them man were there, bro, you just hold it down, man. Like we're just gonna do our thing and
Yeah.
and
You know what it is, man? I think them man have felt the disappointment before, innit? They're like, hey,
yeah. So they knew they're like, bro, let's stop.
It's funny, yeah, because I watched Saka after the game yesterday, and them man seem excited. Like I think they seem excited in it
Yeah,
at what's going on. Because even after the game, the way they ran up to their fans and that, and then they said normally they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do after this game?" To a Liverpool player, they're like, "I'm just gonna go home." Blah blah blah. Saka was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the iPad out on the coach back and that, and watch the Man City game, bro. And hopefully they lose." And then it was like, "Oh, what? How does it feel at the moment? Like the pressure?" Like, it's not nice, but it's not nice.
yeah. And you got to remember these guys are all young bulls, like
They're young,
the Martinellis, and even like the Erdegaards, who's not young in terms of age or anything. They're young in terms of their experience at this as well. Like, and considering Erdegaard would be considered one of the more experienced players in a team, it's mad. Like it's when I think he's what 24.
Remember when he was 16, bro?
Yeah, bro. I thought he was coming to Liverpool. How about that? I thought
I was training with us and that,
bro. And this is what I'm saying. So yeah, I think I think when we look at all of this, club are gonna have their own expectations, and they will have their. I don't care what happens during the season. I just need you to get this done. After that, everything, as you're saying, I agree. Honestly, probably would just be a bonus because it'll be like, okay, we're in the title race. If we can win it, that's already probably exceeded what. Obviously, I don't know internally what they would have been talking about, but on the face of it, I think they just cared about we need to get back in the champion. Remember, we're in the Europa League this season, so they're not trying to see Europa League next season. So they're just thinking, brother, qualify as quickly as possible as you can for Champions League. Wherever that takes you, we'll kind of move it from there, and then go from there. And is asking, do you think Thiago stays another season with the new manager coming in?
No.
It's
funny, yeah, because I didn't think about that. All that time we was talking about Thiago before, we never mentioned the new manager. We just kept saying, "Do you think he'll have a new?" But it's not. I think the new manager will obviously, if you're a footballing man, you know who Thiago is. But I'm promised, man, and it's only what I believe, man. I don't think Edwards would allow man to stay, bro. Forget what the manager wants, bro.
Fact.
Yeah, they might not even let him meet him, bro.
Nah, I think I'm just. It's funny because whilst you're talking, I'm just looking at something from Thiago, and I'm just like, yeah, you're finished here, man. Like you're done here. Like your time here at this football club, it's over, bro. Like it doesn't matter what manager, unless Slot comes in and he's like, I could use this guy in whatever capacity. I just can't see it, bro. Because either way, bro, them wages are going to be mad, and I feel like he'd have to convince Edwards, like fully convince, like I need him here, like for whatever the reason is. And as you said, bro, I don't feel like Edwards is coming back to be like, Thiago, you could
Also, on Thiago's behalf, he'll probably find it a bit risky as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be disrespectful to the manager, but he just might. I don't really know you like that, innit? So what if you come in and you're terrible? Then I just wasted another year of what I don't even already have.
Exactly. Time it's already looking like his career is starting to dwindle as it is. He's gonna be looking like he might just need to go to a Saudi, just play in that kind of league where it's just calm. There's no real pressure on you to do your thing. You can show off. You know, the crowd will get gassed at him doing the shimmies and all of that kind of stuff. Go live. You know what? Actually, no, that's a lie. Actually, I actually feel like if it's not Saudi, I feel like he should just go to America. Like I don't know why I have America in my head. Like he should just go there because I just feel what he brings. It might still be competitive enough for him in order to be like, all right, I can still play. I'm not saying it's mad competitive, but it's competitive enough for me to go there, play in the MLS. And it's in America. The guy's got perfect English as well. Like, there's so many different factors, man. And I think he'd ball out in that kind of league and be a good little kind of ambassador for that type of league, man. Honestly, asking question, Slot will be the coach and he will only focus on the players because we are going away from the English system. How long do you guys think it will take to work and we start winning? Don't answer that question. We'll come back to that at 7 p.m. this evening when we speak about Arne Slot. So that same question, honestly, if you can copy and paste it into your notes, ask that same question this evening, where we're going to be talking about Slot and just everything behind him and all of that. But I'll explain that come the end of the stream. I'll move on anyway. Obviously, we kind of touched on it. Regardless, speaking about certain games, title race, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they were like, I was just literally going through results from this season. Obviously, this is just all stats, so it's not. There's no context behind any of this. Obviously, we watch the games, so we all know blah blah blah. But there's no context behind any of this, and I just picked out like a few games, and obviously in the last few weeks that have obviously been pivotal as to why where it kind of went wrong. If I'm being totally honest with you, as we know, it's the Manchester United game. That's probably one of them. Well, probably the main one where it started for me. Then, of course, we had the Atalanta straight after that. Then, of course, we had the Crystal Palace game after that kind of thing. And then I know we then beat Fulham, and then we beat Fulham, and then we had Everton, or was it Everton and Fulham?
No, Everton was the last game. Everton was the last game before the game on the week before West Ham.
And then, of course, we had thing. But the thing that I was looking at more than anything when I was looking at this wasn't even obviously just the results. Yeah, the results are the results, what it is. When I'm looking at some of the statistics from those games, it's like the same. And it's what I was saying before about it being the same. And obviously, I'll take a look at that in a sec. But it all kind of 60% possession, big shot. Bro, we had 7 big chances in that game against Manchester United, bro. They only had 1. Yes, I know they had the 5 shots on target, but we had 7 big chances with 20. Like, man, the Atalanta game, we had 7 big chances in this game. Oh, sorry, not 7. We had 3 big chances in this game. We missed all 3. Bare possession, bare shots, only 5 shots on target. So I'm like, okay, fairs. Crystal Palace game, bare possession, bare shot.
Identical, man.
It's all the same. It's all the same. This game away, bare possession, bare shots, big chances. Obviously, they had 6 big chances, to be fair. And I can't remember another time where a team, obviously Atalanta being another team, but other than Atalanta and Everton, I can't remember too many games where teams have had 6 big chances against us. That was kind of a little bit worrying. So then I went back. To like a few other games this season, games that we actually won, and I think there's one draw in here.
Yeah.
This is against Brentford. I think we beat them 3-0 in this game. Brentford having 2 big chances in the game. Obviously, they missed those 2. I remember was it Mbeumo or Wissa? I remember Wissa definitely missing a chance in this game. But we ended up winning this kind of game. This was against, I believe this was against West Ham, where we beat West Ham earlier on in the season. Was it 3-0, 3-1, 3-0?
Yeah,
whatever?
that's the one with Paqueta mashed us up in the first half, isn't it?
Exactly. Again, it's all following the same kind of trend. Like it's all that, like these some of these. This is obviously when we drew to Brighton 2-2. Everything is looking the exact same. It's not like anything for me was any different. So that's where when I'm talking about, and this is more for when I was talking to people, and big up Jerry in the building. When I'm talking to people about the season and the performances have all mirrored the kind of same performances that we're seeing now, and why I felt at the beginning of the season when we were winning the games and getting through these results, beating the West Hams, beating the Brentfords, beating the Wolves, and all of these kind of things, I just felt like it was never going to be sustainable towards the back end of the season.
You did say that to me.
Yeah, only if. Obviously different if we changed, like if it changed up, but only if we continue playing the same way. And I feel like we have.
One of two things had to change for it not to be sustainable anymore, innit? And even then, you'd have to have a bit of luck behind you. It'd either have to be the attackers keep scoring and you play like that, and that would have worked based on the games we've lost, apart from like Atalanta where we just got smoked anyway, or you stop conceding the first goal. It'd have to be one of the two, bro, because I didn't expect them to do both anyway, and I expected that it would have been to score the goals. Because if you look at the games that, you've just gone through it, bro, the big chances created and then the shots on target, but then the goals ain't the goal in, bro. So it's like, that's why it's not sustainable, bro, because it was almost what was sustainable before, you're not doing it. And now you're being exposed for what it is. And another thing out of them games that you've brought up is, we got bullied in all of them, which is
Yeah.
that's on. I can only tell you that I'm watching it because there's no stat for it, bruv. But people identified a weakness and bullied us in it, bruv. Atalanta bullied us. Everton bullied us, bro.
Yeah.
Once United got excited in the game, they just bullied us, bruv.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Once you give, remember I said like once you give some of these teams a sniff against Liverpool, it gives them confidence and they're like, yeah, bonnet, brother. You know what I mean? And obviously when we've got possession, we get complacent on the ball. Forces people that are meant to be, they're supposed to be like a rigid structure and stuff. They get too complacent and they start wandering around the pitch. Get caught on a counter attack. There's gaps everywhere. So it's sucks, man. But
big up, Jerry, man. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're well. Obviously, we're just talking about the title race being over for Liverpool. It's looking like we'll finish up in third place this season. Obviously, now we're just talking about like the games. The games that obviously in the last few weeks that have obviously been pivotal to us, getting out of this race, and then of course getting knocked out of the Europa League. But then, and then on top of that, taking a look at the other games in the season. When you look at it as a whole, are you surprised that we're in this position, or did you think maybe this would be enough to like scummy our way to like a Premier League win, for example?
If I'm being honest, I'm surprised we're in this position in general. I'm surprised we're third. You know what I mean? Like when I think about it, yeah, I'm disappointed that Liverpool obviously didn't go on from strength to strength. I'm not really finishing the season off well, which is obviously an anomaly because under Klopp we've always done that. We've always like peaked, like we might have dropped off, but then we peaked towards the end of the season where it's like we win in every single game.
Yeah.
So it is obviously very odd. But no, I'm not surprised because I don't really rate this team. Right? I don't really rate like that. They're a good side, but I don't rate them to the levels I rated, the team that won us the league. And if you're not on par with the team that we're talking about, can you guys hear me? Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit, but yeah, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, man. My flipping in. You can hear me, yeah?
Yeah, literally.
All right, cool. But yeah, so it's like I'm looking at this team and it's just like, all right, like you're not on par with that team that was the best team that I've seen as a Liverpool fan, and they only won one league title. So what are we expecting with this team? Like, what are we expecting with this team? So, like, look, the whole performances and stuff. This is just like I say this panto, My thing's bugging out. Like you guys are glitching in it. Like the chat ain't even moving. But look, here's what it is. Liverpool are. I'm not really surprised. I'm surprised that we're actually in this position when I think about it. Disappointing that, of course, we faltered. But it is what it is, man. Like, remember, I predicted Liverpool not to win any major trophies for the next 5 years. That was 2 years ago. Calm.
Yeah, but man will tell you about the FA Cup and that, but that is what it is. But listen, look, man, we can dive like it's done and dusted now. It's over with. Like,
yeah.
We can kind of we can move on from that. But yeah, I definitely did want to speak on that because I was just like, it came to like such a. It's like we just went out with a whimper. Like I agree. I kind of agree with what you're both saying. I agree with what Savage is saying in terms of when we're obviously just looking at things from the beginning of the season up until now, obviously, and then obviously that middle part of the season when we did look really, really good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where in terms of, would I say really good? Not even in terms of performances, but in terms of consistency. Like I had to admit, bro, like consistently, we were just getting the W's. So where Man City were looking a little bit like no Rodri or he was suspended and Kevin De Bruyne is obviously injured and, they were going through whatever it is they were going through. And then Arsenal, when they had that blip in December, I want to say they had that blip.
Fulham and West Ham and they couldn't score goals.
Where they couldn't score goals. And of course, when we were speaking there about how Arsenal fans were talking about like, we're not even as good as last. I kept saying, bro, I feel like you're better than I feel like you've not even. I feel like you've just evolved as a team. Like, you don't have to be that team, because that team over a sustained period of time, I don't think was ever going to be good enough to win the league. This team, though, if you did win it, and we don't know, I feel like you deserve it, because over a period of time, over a course of 38 games, you've sustained that kind of performance level. And that performance level clearly is enough to, win the league. What I will say on this, though, quickly before we move on, if City get their summer recruitment somewhat correct, I don't see a hope for either Liverpool or Arsenal next season, because I almost feel like Arsenal are playing at their maximum, and you could potentially still be behind Manchester City. They've not even been all that this season. Liverpool, they're a tricky one, because I don't know how to really gauge them. New manager, got new sets of players. We're going to get new sets of players. We might have some players potentially leaving and stuff like that. There's too much of a grey area where I don't know. But I think they'll be up there. I just don't know what up there looks like in the grand scheme of things. Players getting older, all of that kind of jargon. Cool. But Arsenal, I look at it and I just think, bruv, if you ain't going to win the league this season, I feel like it's going to be tricky to win it next season, Like, not saying you won't.
Good go back to thingy, man. Champions League football and trophies in it, and the Prem's eludes everyone, because it kind of feels at the moment. You're right. If Guardiola, it's however long Guardiola decides to just stay around.
Literally, and it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. Pick up Michael Talks, man. See, you're doing 6 in a row. Would that surprise you? Like, would we all sit here and be like, "Oh my goodness, they just didn't know"? You'd be like, "Yeah, that seems around about right." You get, which isn't good, of course, for the league in itself, but it definitely, it wouldn't surprise me. Let's move on, because I said, don't worry, guys. I've seen all the messages. I've just gone on now to check it as well, so I've seen it being posted. Let's talk about that, man. Like I said, I wanted to leave him, out of the conversations yesterday. I just wanted to focus on the game in itself. And then, of course, we went on to talk about another one of our dead strikers that we've got at the football club, Mo Salah. Now, I've just seen, and I'll get it up for you guys. Now, so David Ornstein has just posted out, Liverpool expect Mo Salah to stay, hence I hope you're watching, and are planning with him for at least another campaign. The 31-year-old has given no indication of wanting out, plus contract to be addressed in due course. Saudi view is Salah intends to remain in or at LFC next season. So, first of all, you guys can hold that. But secondly, but now, all jokes aside, obviously, we'll talk about the situation, obviously, that what happened at the weekend, because, of course, that kind of stuff, I just knew. It felt like at the weekend, everybody was waiting for that moment. And they were waiting for that moment because whatever hate that you had towards, man, that not you guys, but like the everybody else, the hate that you have towards him, yeah, this was the perfect time to jump on that now. Like, now I'll have just cause to be able to do that now. It won't look so mad if I get at Salah, during another point in the season, because it's Salah and blah, 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 and what he means to Liverpool, etc., etc. But when that situation happened, bro, I started seeing the knives out. Like, I'm seeing people saying, yeah, he's this, he's that. Get him out of my football club. He has to leave today. Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, rah, like, yeah, whatever Klopp said, blah, blah, blah. I said, bro, like, let's just chill on that for a second. Did you get what I'm trying to say? And now we're looking at it. And as Ornstein, obviously, things can change, by the way. It's not guaranteed that he would 100% still stay here. He could still potentially leave in the summer if a bid were to come in. And if the new manager just thinks, yeah, your role might start getting reduced. But when we're looking at on the face of it, when you're reading this now, Savage, how are you feeling not towards Salah, because it's not that deep, but just in terms of for next season moving forward? Do you think that's a step in the right direction, or you think,
it's not. It needs to go, man.
I hear it.
Yeah, I think there can be people in different positions that have been in as long as Salah, but the position is in so important, and he's been so important to the club. And when you're trying to rebuild something, leaving in old parts that are affecting the team, where I can't, man. It's just not going to be good for another manager having Salah there. I just don't think it is. I feel like at this point in his career, he's only got one position he can play in.
Yeah.
As that position, he's not good at it. He's good at scoring goals, but he's not good at that position anymore. So whatever team you build is going to be so unbalanced. You're going to have like a perfectly built team and then just one weird right side of the pitch, bro. I told you this right side had a stroke ages ago, bro. That goes for him and Trent, bro. Like, it's just you would never be able to sort the team out with both of them playing. Something has to change. And I don't know, man. Osborne, I don't know, but I don't know. The writing's been on the wall for me, bro. But the great thing, what is an attribute to Salah is he's always been to contribute still when he's been shit. That don't stop me from saying what I feel though, but it's just he has. So I have to give him the respect for that as well. But nah, he and aside from that thing what happened on the weekend, I said before that game, when it was on about Slot, I said, I don't know, man. Like, I had shades of Ronaldo in that Piers Morgan interview. The way he was speaking about Ten Hag and Ragnick, he was almost like, I don't even know who you are like that, blood. So who are you to come in and say so? And that's how I feel about what Salah would be like with the new manager. It doesn't have to be in a rude way. Sometimes it could just be to your agent, like, but I don't know who do this to put me on the bench, bro. Like, we can't have that, bro. Yeah, I mean, there's the rest of the teams in a different position, so I can't really see. I don't know. It's just him, and I don't think the rest of them would be. I don't know. They haven't done enough for the club to even have any kind of arrogance. I don't think, but he does.
Yeah.
So he definitely doesn't like being on the bench. That's fine. No one should like being on the bench. Salah thinks he's better than he is, and this thing about him not leaving. No one wants him. No. Let's be honest. No one wants him, and it's not. I'm not dissing him because no one wanted Ronaldo either. Same reason. It's almost identical. Manu. In fact, it's actually identical. Ronaldo got 18 goals in the season before he left Manu.
Yeah.
And everything was going right for him in terms of individual attributes, but for the team, stopped, bro. And it didn't work out. Now, I've had a great since. No, they've won a trophy though, and they finished wherever. And that's what they got here. So I don't know.
Big up, Scott Kirk. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. New sub chat, Arsenal fan. Don't worry, man. This summer as well, man. We're gonna be talking a lot of Arsenal. Actually, myself and Tariq. Hopefully, got something cooking up for you guys moving into the next season. So yeah, man, we're gonna change things up during the summer. So yeah, man, stay tuned. And again, big up for subbing. I think Salah is on the way out. Well, I mean, Ornstein's saying he's staying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no problem with that. I've obviously got no issue anyway. Obviously, I do understand what that then looks like moving for next season, because I do agree. I can't remember who said it here about needing a backup. I think it was KLFC you mentioned about needing a backup. I 100, like, you can't keep him and not sign a backup. That's what I don't think you can do moving forward. If you are going to keep him, no problem. You do need to have like a backup though. There has to be one now. Like, especially now that we know we're not getting maybe if we got an Amarim, maybe it would have been different. Formation, the way he plays, blah, blah, blah. But I think now because we're keeping to a guy who plays 4-2-3-1, and he might still need, them wingers. Fair enough. I've got now I don't really have an issue. But if you're keeping him, you have to get someone to come in. Like, it can't just be him and just praying that things work out, and then on the odd 1 or 2 games, Elliot pops in there. On the odd 1 or 2 games, Diaz might play right. No.
You know how you think about Salah, yeah? Well, not how you think about it. Let me stop that, because even though like it's been annoying me, I love Salah too, bruv. He's your favorite Liverpool player. But take that away. Just think of where Arsenal were, yeah, before Arteta got rid of Lacazette and Aubameyang, bro. That's literally where I see Liverpool going, bro. Whereas, like, if you don't sort it, you carry on floundering around, and they were in like just Europa League every season, finishing 8th. Because at some point he said, you know what? Let me bite the bullet, get rid of these man, run the young guns who I believe in, use the solutions what I've got around me, and spend a bit of money. and I'll take the flak. I'll train this squad properly. I'll take the flak if they fail in anything they do, but I think they won't. And you and Jerry both said that you want to see good football. That's what Arsenal got straight away once the man gone. In fact, you can look at the videos when they finished third that season, and then they done the Amazon documentary. Bro, I predicted the exact spot where they were going to finish in, bro. I could tell. They just everything looked different. Everything looked different. They were playing different, and there was a few things where it's like, a bit of experience in that spot there because they're getting towards the end, and I think they missed out on Champions League football. They had lost like the last 3 games or something like that. But that's where I see it going, bro. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Aubameyang and Salah are the same person, by the way.
Yeah, no, of course.
But Aubameyang and Lacazette compared to Emile Smith-Rowe and them, man, the levels on it, the ego levels are completely different because I've done something and usually I haven't, bro, your kids. And that's where I see it going with these, man, bro. So,
nah, I do hear it. A big up honesty. That's it pains me. It pains me to hear the stuff that you guys are saying. But at the same time, I do fully understand the position you guys are coming from. Question: looking at Salah this season, does he deserve a new contract, and also does he deserve a pay rise? I think, and I'll get Savage and Jerry's opinion on this. I think when looking at it, you're not going to base giving him a new contract on this season, though. That's where I don't think Liverpool would do. If they are going to give him a new deal or whatever, I don't think it's going to be based upon this season. I think it's going to be more based on really everything that he's kind of done. And from their perspective, and I'm not saying it's true, but from their perspective, the fact that the levels of his performances have dropped over time, especially in this last, like, say, year or two, or the last 2 seasons, but he's still Liverpool's main player in the attack. They're going to probably look at it and think, maybe we can just keep him because he's obviously that inevitability, over a course of a season. Maybe we just keep him whilst we still potentially try and sort out potential other areas, because again, I don't know what the war chest is. I don't know what we're looking to do moving forward. Are we trying to buy this guy, buy that guy, whatever? I don't know. So if, for example, we're looking at him thinking, all right, well, we're not going to get any other attackers. We're just going to keep this attack. The same attack that we've got, we're not going to add to it. Then you're looking at it thinking, well, can you realistically let Salah go? Unless there's a crazy bid, 250, 200, whatever. Is it worth letting him go? Because we're going to have to still find someone to replace that anyway.
That's what I said that Nunes has affected Salah staying at Liverpool.
Yeah, I can imagine.
From only from the business standpoint, because them man look at data, bro. They're not footballing men, innit? So the data says that Salah's still doing what Salah does, bro. I don't give a shit if he looks. You man think he looks dodgy in games and that, still scoring the goals in it. And they'll look at it on the chart, but that's because they're not footballing men. What we see and how it might affect other players, that's completely different. So I don't
luckily, Savage. Luckily, Richard Hughes is a football man, isn't it?
That's true.
Richard Hughes is to kick ball. So having, I mean, we'll see what this brother's got to say in it. But having, I guess, if you trust the structure, you trust that you trust that FSG wouldn't have done a United and put like your Ed Woodwards in charge, innit? That don't know anything about football, and they're just going to be like, the stats are saying he scores goals, he sells T-shirts. Yeah, we're keeping him. I think having Richard Hughes, having some other people in there that have played football before, they'll look at it and be like, you know what? And obviously, hopefully, they've got obviously an Arnie Slot guy now in there as well. That's going to look at it the same way. He's not going to be looking at it like, I've got sentiment for this player and stuff.
Hasn't somebody put out? I don't know if someone put it in the chat earlier, like a Slot saying that he wants Salah. Like but
1,000,000% he wants him because he obviously he doesn't want Salah to be sold before he's hit the door and kind of see whether he can reason with the guy. He knows if he can unlock him, there's a brother that obviously has proven that he can score 30 goals. You don't get that everywhere, innit? Yeah. So again, any manager that comes in is going to look at it and be like, yeah, I want to keep the best players that they've got at the moment, so I can have a look at them in pre-season, even in that first season, and I can kind of see what we're dealing with. I don't want to go and, do you know what I mean? You're getting rid of Salah, knowing that we can't replace him like for like, because we ain't going to spend 200 million on a strike on a forward, and we're going to have to go and develop someone. That's more pressure on me, innit? If it's Salah's there, straight away he's like, all right, cool. Like, I've got the key guys there. Yeah, he might not even play, but I need to have him in the squad, innit? just in case I cannot look in type of thing.
I think if Salah stays, bro, then they're gonna have to buy number 9, bro. They're gonna have to, bro.
But then, what do you do with the number 9 that we have got?
I don't care. Let him be the ball boy. So I don't care, bro. They have to, bro, because that's
no. The thing is, I agree, bro. But this is why I just feel like we know Liverpool. Like we're not gonna.
He'll be on the bench. He'll be on the bench as an impact player. If we sign Nunes for 30 million, no one will be complaining. No one will be complaining.
No, of course, no. I know. Okay, cool. Okay, let's just. I didn't want to get into too tough, but as an example, yeah, I'm just looking at the forward line, right? If you had to name a forward line for next season, and Salah is going to stay, and you don't have to pick the number 9, but you can just say, cool, you just want a new number 9, cool. So your left and right wing, right, is whoever that is. So let's just say Salah is staying. He's probably going to start the season, if I'm being totally honest with you, barring something else being said in the summer, right? So then whoever's left wing, let's just say it's Diaz for the sake of argument. So on the bench, you're going to have Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, Darwin Núñez as your 3, right? If that's what we're saying here, that will be the 3 players, attacking players. I'm just trying to see, like, are they going to see it the same? Like, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying, bro. Like, as in, I would be happy with that. I just don't know if they're going to look at it in that way and say, yeah, we'll just have these 3 chilling on the bench, 3 players who probably all think that at some, like, I should be playing 2 kind of thing. That might cause whatever it might cause. Like, I don't know. Are we going to rotate the same way we've been rotating this season?
They say this slot guy's a risk taker. That's what they said, isn't it? Is why he's willing to take risks and all that, bro. I hope if Salah stays, man, I hope he's one of them guys that is like, yo, Salah, let's go for a walk, blood. Like,
you know, let me chat to you outside.
Yeah, like, no disrespect in that, bro. You did your thing in that. You're the king in that, bro. But I've been watching you, man, because obviously you're the king. And been noticing, man, you're not really cutting it on the right wing now. I see that you're scoring goals, but you don't run past anyone. You ain't ran past man for 4 seasons, blood. So you what? We know you can score goals. Might want to put you up front, see what we can do. Let's see what you can do, bro. You can't do worse than the Nunes guy in front of goal. So, and Jot's already injured. So you're always fit. Can we put you up front, see what you can do, blood? Maybe one of them ones, bro. Because the right wing, it's non-existent if he's there, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just, and not to mention he has to deal with the Trent problem as well.
This is what I'm trying to say, bro.
This is like buying the Lambo when with the right side doors gone. Our club. So it
looks good on the eye. It looks good if you look at it from the other side.
Yeah, if you look at it from the left, it looks cold, bro. From the right, and no seatbelt, you're falling out the car, bro. It's long.
Honestly, listen, man. I can look beyond him being like my favorite player. Like, I'm not that fickle, and I don't actually really care when it comes down to it. If a bid was to come in, even I'd look at it and be like, bro, why are you not selling?
I agree, man. It's all right. You can still love the player, bro. I had the same thing with Bobby, bro. I had the same thing with Bobby and Mane, bro. I felt the same about them, but I knew like there was too many slipper foot shots, bro. And then I was like, yeah, Bobby, like I don't know.
We're all saying, and big up Ali, big up Caleb, big up everybody in the chat. We're all saying the same. I forgot, Harvey as well as another player, but I don't know what his role. I mean, in a 4-2-3-1, I don't even know what that role looks like for someone like Harvey, but we'll see that next season, right? When I'm looking at it, we're all saying kind of the same thing. Yeah, people are saying in the chat, sell him. Or if we do give him a new deal, then we have to sell one of Nunes. Again, I don't know if they're going to look at it. This is why I say with the Edwards thing, and we'll talk on that tomorrow, but on the Edwards thing anyway, I'm looking at thinking, I don't feel like he's going to do what people think he's going to do. Like, I feel like we've built this guy up into our heads because of what we saw him do with Liverpool last time, when Liverpool were in a worse position, still on the come up, different parameters that he was working within, and a whole different kind of, it was a whole different type of context that he was working within. So when we're now looking at this situation, for example, with Salah, I'm not surprised that they're saying, he's going to stay and he might sign a new deal. I'm not even surprised because they might just look at it and think, well, why would we sell now when he doesn't necessarily, obviously, performance? Yes.
But the goals alone.
In terms of what he's bringing, which is he's the only guy in the attack who's going to be bringing me goals.
That's what I said I didn't think was going to buy it. When I was talking about Amarim, I was like, I don't think, probably the reason why he's not going to come to Liverpool, I didn't think we're going to buy much players, if any, bro.
Yeah,
let's not pretend like we've not gone through season without buying, man. Before we have, so what?
Bro, calm as well. Like just
what I think it is though. What I think it is though. look, a Salah is different, right? A Salah is different. The reason why a Salah is different, a Salah is different because Salah again is the one that's proven in it to score you 30 goals. So when someone's got that on them, someone like a Slot will look at it and be like, cool. Just as Saf said, you know what, let's have a chat. Let's go, let's walk, let's have a walk around AXA, and you'll tell him that, look, this is but this is what it will be in it. And the same thing for Virgil, same thing for Alisson, same thing with all those players. This is how I view you in the team. This is what I require from you. You're not going to be playing on the wing anymore because unfortunately, look, there comes a point where you ain't got the pace anymore. But we want to use you as a forward. We want you to go and do this role as a forward. So we want you to back to goal, setting the ball. You're not going to get the ball to feet and try to twist man up like you used to before. But if you can still make those runs, you can still pop him in the right areas, and we create a system where we create chances for you, we're going to see if you can go and score a goal. Yep. If Salah then says, I don't want that, I want to be the main man on the wing, that's where they'll go and shot. But the reason why they're saying they're planning to go and do that, because Slot still sees that in his plans and has to look at it, in my opinion, as from a point of view of like, all right, cool, well, obviously Salah's going to agree to what I'm saying to him and the players will all agree and everything's going to be calm. When we're hearing about Nunes in the papers, they're not saying, yes, Slot's looking at Nunes. The question is, decision at the end of the window is going to be made on Nunes. And the reason why that is because there's a high possibility that unless like Salah, your Virgils, your Alissons, they're in different situations, innit? Their status in the club. The rest of them, the manager's going to have a direct decision on whether in that pre-season, and the pre-season is going to be so important. It's going to be so important because bear in mind, this is a manager that's coming in and we've got Champions League football as well next season. This isn't like he's only got the league to worry about. It's Champions League football. So he's got to really get us into gear quick. It's cool. Do these players fit what I'm going to go and have to go and do? If they don't fit, if he looks at it and is like, nah, they'll be gone quick. They'll be gone quick. And the reason why they will be is because they'll probably tell Slot, all right, cool. We want you to be successful. Yeah, we might not go and spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds, but we are still going to go and buy players that go and fit what you're trying to go and do. They might not be your A option, but they'll be your B, C option. The Salah one, again, is what we've spoken about. Salah, your Virgil van Dijk. Where are you going to get, like, a Virgil van Dijk apparently is considering his options, and he's considering he's looking to go Dortmund or whatever that might be. The reason why he's doing that is because, again, he doesn't know what conversation he's going to go and have with the manager. If the manager comes in and tells him, yeah, you know what, you're going to be playing in a back three, and then I'm going to rotate you, and obviously I'm going to start, like, phasing you out because I want to bring in my own centre-back and stuff. He might be like, no, I don't want to go and do that. I don't want to go and do that, so he's going to cut. We just have to wait and see what happens. See what happens with these brothers, because again, it's what Sav said. You could try have that talk with him at AXA. If Salah tries to kick off like he did against things like, what are you talking about? No, I want to be on the wing. Like, I mean, I don't want to do this forward thing. Then you're in a situation and it's like, bro, like you're gonna have to go. It's like with Oxlade-Chamberlain when he was at Arsenal. Man was playing right wing back and playing well, you know. He didn't like it because he wanted to play in midfield, so he cut. He didn't cut because like they wanted to let him go. He cut because he didn't see himself doing that what Wenger wanted him to do. And I think a lot of these players, again, may not like what Slot asked them to go and do. A Trent, as an example, like if Slot says, yeah, you're going to play midfield for me, fantastic. What if Arnie Slot tells Trent, actually, all you're doing is you're staying out wide, holding the width as a right back. You're not spraying that ball, and you're just doing up and down shuttle runs and doggies because that's what I want from you as a right back. Trent might turn around and be like, hey, you know what? I don't even want to do this, you know? Like, this is how I don't want to play this role. He might cut. So we're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait, man.
I agree, man. Because I said, man, if we get players and I think it's back to the... I know everyone... Club's weird, man. Everyone loving Edwards and that's a bunch of weirdos, brother, man. You know what I mean? But it would be back to how it was before. And as I said, when we got Robbo, when Wijnaldum and all that, relegated sides, but I think that's what it will be. It's not... And it's not a bad thing. Because if you can identify, like, rough gems and that's better for your club. But I think that's their aim. So, and I don't know anything about this manager, but everything people keep sending and putting in the thing is all like, oh yeah, we got his whole team with 10 million and all this. But it sounds about right why FSG got him then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because otherwise, it will end up being a conversation. The money you can spend is is of who we sell.
And do you know what it is as well? And do it is for him as well. It's all obviously it's context, like what G's saying, right? It's subjective. He's got 10 mil to spend that final. Now he might have 80 mil. or
Exactly.
100, right? And 100 teams, I got 100. Calm. Like, this is more than I ever could dream for.
Yep.
Obviously, City are spending 500 mil, innit? So that's the difference, innit? When you're looking at that, you're like, rah, like we're not competing with them, but still, him as a manager, he's looking at it like, yeah, I'm gonna have a bigger budget than I've ever had. So I'm comfy. This is better than I've ever had it. So he's gonna be content with that.
Agreed.
For him, he's got a war chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's easy. That's what I'm saying. It would have been easy for them to sell him this when they tried to get him in as the manager, bro. Very easy to make it sound better than it was where he already was, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts dipping into players that he already knows of. Might not be from final, but just players that he knows of or played against.
That he's wanted before and he couldn't afford.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Because they'll be a bit cheaper as well. So be interesting, man.
No, G's not happy at all, you know. Look at him. G's that bummed his slot. Look, I can see it in his face.
No, oh, sorry. No, it's not even that. Like, you gotta realize, bro, like listening to you both, like, because I respect you both so much, yeah. If anyone else, the way you guys were talking, I'd be like, bro. Good, thank you for joining us there for today's show. Like, but I'm listening to you both speaking, and it's like I can't even. I'm literally just sitting here, and what I try to always try and do is when people are making points and stuff. Sometimes I got like the sticky notes up, so I try to write. Okay, so he said this. All right, cool. So as I'm like writing, I'm saying I'm trying to think of the pros and cons of everything Jerry's just said there, and what Savage is saying, and I'm sitting there thinking, brother, like there's more pros to just let the brother leave than there is to even keeping the guy. Honest, like when I'm writing it out and I'm looking now, and I'm looking at it now, and I'm just like, what they're saying is correct. Whether I want to admit that is a whole nother thing. But
if your dream for Liverpool is, forget Klopp for a second, Klopp's going, but if your dream is for Liverpool that in the post-Klopp era, Liverpool, you want to get Liverpool to be in Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and that, forget about it. That's never happening. It might never happen. It might never happen with our owners' blood. If your dream is for Liverpool to start playing good football, pick up trophies every season still, but maybe not the main one that you want all the time, it's possible. It's very possible. But realistically, it might just end up being Champions League Liverpool, bro. And you know what I mean? Good pro.
You see what? So saying back to old school where, where it's just. Oh, let me run through some of these questions, man. You men are making my head hurt this morning. You're making my head hurt. Big up everybody inside, by the way. Please make sure you are smashing the like button. There's over 40 of you watching in here, and there's another about 30, 40 of you watching on Twitter as well. Bro, if you're on Twitter, jump on YouTube, man. Join in the conversation, man. And let me know your thoughts. All right, Honesty's asking, question, what's your guys' opinion on fans saying we are now where we are because of Trent saying he wanted the quad, he jinxed us? That's what I keep
hearing. Them fans grow up in it.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Don't worry about that, honestly, man. I don't think that's...
Hold on, G, quick one, yeah? Sav as well. How did Klopp get away with telling us to book our tickets to Istanbul with a grin on his face? And look how things have petered out.
I keep telling you.
That's what happens when you tell a man to do something that he doesn't normally do. I hear man every season, which Klopp just come out and tell us he wants the league and wants this and that. When he goes against what he believes in, you don't make it, bro. That's why he never said it.
He's like, bro, like, you know what? I'm tired of telling these guys.
You know, when all of a sudden, like, Ngannou doesn't speak before fights like that, he's always nice, isn't it? As soon as you try and get him to start talking about stuff and
he gets folded like a deck chair, bro.
Just let him live in it.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? He just this time round when you told him to say book your tickets to Istanbul, he's thinking of the destination. He prefers that journey thing. He don't even care about the destination. He just wants that nice journey. Remember, was it UG that got that quote where he said, "I value relationships over trophies"?
Yeah,
but he does though. But you know that's him though. Like
that's my thing, G man. This is the biggest problem I have. This is why I always sound like I'm defending Klopp. I'm not. It's I listen and it. Yeah. Man, shocked about stuff, bruv. When you found that she was a hoe, bruv.
Yeah.
So when she starts doing whole stuff, what are you surprised about, bruv? I can't believe I caught her out here doing whole stuff.
You know, like,
I can't believe I caught her on her knees. It's like, brother, you knew she was on her knees, bruv.
You lot are actually are actually stupid. By the way, big up to all the guys who, you know, you've caught her on her knees and that. Listen, man, there's someone out there, man. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about these hoes, man. Don't
Yeah, but
worry
what the
about
hoes do, innit?
They're
When
looking for
man say
captain's
make
favour,
hoes make
innit?
great housewives, and they always make when you're one of the man them, they make good friends, bruv. That's why.
Yeah.
That's Klopp, bruv. Make
Yeah.
good friends and that, bruv. You might not get the end result you want, but they're cool.
Super
Make you
cool
feel
as well.
good.
Like.
Yeah.
Super cool. Honestly, question with the new coach, do you man see Musialowski, Kuma, Scanlon, them man having a chance with the first team? We're not gonna know. I'll be honest with you. Like,
Not gonna know. And also, I don't want to. That's one thing. It's actually not normal for most clubs to give that many youngsters that many chances, bro. Yeah,
exactly.
I think everyone got a bit gassed with our team and that because we saw them. I like Scanlon.
Yeah, I like him. I think Scanlon.
Yeah, I doubt it, bro. Our success rate at the moment is pretty good considering you had a season with Kwanzaa and Bradley break into the first teams. Kind of doesn't happen often. Man City's got Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob in it, and then obviously Foden's their thingy from a couple of, and it took a while. So we're actually doing all right with it. Maybe one more over the next season or so, but
yeah, man. Like, bro, we got Champions League football, bro. Like, I don't want to see these man touch the pitch in Champions League. So it's like, and that's not disrespect to them. It's just, you're not even remotely close to that kind of level where I want you to be playing in.
You think sometimes that's the thing when like Liverpool fans try to have both. It's always both things in it. Act like you want to be elite and say you want all the best stuff and that, and then they go, "Well, why we're not playing Dan's up front?" I'm like, bro, if that's not disrespectful to Dan's and that, if that's your aim in life, bro, that's why we're Liverpool and we're not as big as you think we are, bro. Because
facts,
it's not normal, bro. That's not. It's not normal.
You wouldn't normally like the top team. I can't even think of. I was even trying to think of this actually the other day about a top team playing this amount of youngsters and still winning something come the end of the season. I couldn't find one. I was trying to honestly think, and if I go back even through a bit of time, I'm trying to think: is there even really been a team like that, like where they've been able to play this amount of youngsters, give the amount of youngsters Klopp's given debuts to this season anyway, and who have played this season? Well, they're not winning anything. You know what I mean? So
people forget the system of the academies and stuff, which is where people like it. It's not all fairy tales. It very rarely ends in that. That's why over the years of the Liverpool academy, all the ones we can name ended up being like legends of the game almost. But there's not many of them. There's a Carragher, Gerrard, and Owen, that man. But it's not. Trent now. Curtis ain't even there yet. Like it's not a legend. So you know what I mean? It's very few and far between, man. But the aim is you build up these players to the best you can. You get them playing a certain style of football. You either get them so the senior manager can notice them and use them for what they want, and you get it's pure and you'd have to pay for it. Or he notices it feels like he's a good enough footballer, but not good enough for Liverpool, and then you put him in the shop window and sell him, and then make money back for your club. But our fans don't seem to want to do the selling part. It's just we like him, put him in the squad.
Yeah, we like it. He got to stay.
And anyone who watches that on LFC TV, bro, like I watch them youth games sometimes, bro. It's like people ain't realize how much there's a big difference between them games compared to the Prem, bro. It's completely different. So when man are watching, I know Michalowski is the one who everyone gasses about constantly and that, bro. He's Polish Messi and that. He's not, bro. If he was, he would already be in the squad, or some other club would have taken him already, bro.
Yeah, and we'd see what this whole Polish Messi thing like. Forget about Musialowski, forget about all of these kind of guys. Like, I think for next season, again, I don't know, and we'll talk about it more later. But like in terms of slot, I don't know. Well, sorry. In fact, forget even if he was a manager who likes to rotate. Forget even that anyway, because as Jerry said, man's coming into the season. We've got Champions League football next season. So, and I think so. I can't remember who mentioned it in the chat about we've got the Euros, we've got the Copa America this whole summer. So his preseason is not the same preseason that he would be getting anyway. So he's going to be coming in. He ain't going to have the amount of time that he would normally have in a preseason that had no international tournament. So already his time is very limited in what he can even do to get us ready for the next season. Top of that, the expectation of what Liverpool fans, what the club, I don't know what the board, they're probably, as Savage said earlier on, it's going to be top four. Okay, get Champions League football, make sure we get that, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, we move from there. With this whole, by the way, we've got the whole new Champions League format as well. So again, there's more games to play. Like, there's a lot going to be going on for the guy next season. It's not just going to be like any run-of-the-mill season where it's like, like Chelsea this season. No European football. Man just has to worry about the league. I got my 38 games. If we get a cup run, we get a cup run like they did. If we get knocked out, we get knocked out. Let's just see how far we can go. Bro, he's got a lot to be dealing with. So these youngsters, Yeah, he might be like, yeah, maybe next season though, bro. Or maybe I'm gonna have to just put you out on loan, and then next season when I've had more time to acclimatize to the role, when I've seen what the team is like, and on top of that, when other players starting to get older, so Salah another year older, Van Dijk another year older, Robert another year older, then we can start to talk about some of these guys. But for now, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it though.
I'm not saying. I'm saying just more. I think the expectancy that people have that we're just gonna do these wholesale changes, and I'm just like, brother, like, when have you ever seen Liverpool do that? And how does that help with continuity moving forward? We can't just get rid of everyone. Oh, Van Dijk, yeah, you think that you bounce, Salah, you bounce, Nunes, you bounce, Diaz, you, bro. We can't get rid of all these guys. Try to bring in players of nowhere near the level of those players that we're letting go, and then think we're gonna just be calm next season.
But before like mid-March, everything was about the continuity and how there's harmony in the dressing room and how these new things are. There's interviewing Virgil. How do you captain different to how Hendo and Milner wasn't before? And that. So you're right, bruv. You can't just throw that away and then think you can just revamp the whole thing and that, because that's when the players start losing respect for a manager before he says anything, bruv. It's like, oh, who are you, bro? We don't know you, bruv. Like, the players are not liars like most of the fan base who, oh yeah, I've been watching all the final games. You haven't.
Yeah,
they haven't either, bruv. Allow maybe Gakpo and Gravenberch and the Dutch in it. I allow them.
Yeah.
But they haven't. So for them, it's like, I don't know about you still,
because they're not a top team, so you're also not even going to be watching them anyway. Where it's like, unless you're, as you say, like you might have a allegiance to it in some way, shape, or form, you're not necessarily going to look at them and be like, yeah, that's the team that I'm for. Like,
exactly. So if you left PSV and you know finals fighting with them, you'll know what's going on.
Yeah,
you're still checking for your team. I know all of your homies still play for them and that. But otherwise, from that, it's not happening. But if he walks in first day and man's like, listen, Afrobeats have to go off in the change room, so we ain't listening to this. Long day for one, bro.
It's like what happened with AVB and Terry, innit? Where AVB tried to tell man, yeah, you know what, you man are sitting in economy, all the academy players are sitting in first
I heard
class.
Terry say that the other day.
The thing is, though, I don't know if we've got players like that.
And Terry was like, what? Yeah, me, Drogba, Lamps, all of them, man. Bruv, if we're not on that plane, this plane ain't leaving. VS bars, bruv, you can't do that to John Terry.
Yeah, John Terry, the man,
you can do that to John Terry. That's
you can't though. I'm telling you now. Unfortunately, this is what I'm saying is that.
Okay, if Jose did that, do you think he would have said that?
That's the difference. Jose.
This is what I'm saying. So you can do that. It will obviously just
if you're a certain manager. Yeah.
So Arnie Slot. This is why I need Salah. This is why he needs Salah. He can't be coming in before he comes in. Your Salah's going, bruv. You think if Arnie Slot now told FSG, yeah, sell Salah because I want the peas, yeah? You think Salah won't know that? When the agent, when they let the agent know, yeah, we're letting go of Salah, so he'll be like, why are you letting go of me? Why are you letting go of Virgil? And we'll be like, yeah, because we need the peas, you know. He'll be like, what? Say no more. How the rest of the squad are going to feel about that?
No. Listen, like I said, you guys are the ones who are saying sell him, so you can chat to the rest of the squad and
No. But if they sell him, that's fine. But again, I think, and I would sell them. I'm just looking at your perspective as well, and like what Sav's saying, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. If the club does that and throws the manager under the bus, and that's like it's him who wanted him out, that's fine.
And they'll do that as well. They'll be like, bro, like the manager wants this. Like, it's not
me. I spoke to him yesterday. I tried.
Arnie's telling us he sees Calvin Stengs is better than you right now. So we're gonna sign him from Feyenoord for 12 million, and we're getting rid of you for 250.
Yeah, and you get to keep your contract in whatever club that you're going to. Like, do you know what I mean? We'll give you a great send off.
Could go both ways, doesn't it? Because like you could have the Spurs effect where it's like really, Ange wanted Kane still there, innit?
Yeah,
and they were interviewing him straight away. Like, he's like, yeah, I've had conversations with him. I love the guy, blah blah blah, and that. But obviously he's got him, and he left in the end. And Spurs playing good football and stuff like that. They're not the full thing, but it's his first season. But you can't get the other way when everyone in the team are like, nah, that's our guy still. Who the fuck are you, bro? What do you think you're doing, bro?
Yeah, but they'll only do that. You see, because Kane wanted to leave, it was like, cool, Kane wanted to leave. It was evident he wanted to leave a couple seasons back.
Yeah,
he did that. If you try going out, like imagine Verge, yeah? Imagine Verge right now. He's made no indication he wants to go, yeah? And Liverpool just go and be like, yeah, Virgil, you're cutting to Dortmund, you know? We need the 70 million back.
I think Verge would cause more problems than Salah, bro. with that
Yeah,
situation.
but you couldn't do that. Joe Gomez and that all of a sudden he's kissing
All of
his
a
teeth
sudden, Gravenberch
at
and Gap are
slot
like,
and that.
what's going on? Bro?
I don't know. You know, I feel like both would be equally as detrimental to the team morale. I don't think either or. I actually think I look at them both, and I think if you got rid of Virgil, it would be problematic in terms of morale, and if you, especially that defense with how shaky it is anyway, with him in the team, and then also in the attack, I also think it might be detrimental to the team more so. The attack might not even care because they might be like Nunes, and that might be looking.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, the amount of times I've been open and he didn't pass me the ball, blood. I'll just get out of the club.
But now I feel like it then turns into the rest of the team will be like certain man. I feel anyway, like a Trent or something will be like, all right, you're good. Okay, you're gonna let go Salah. All right, that's cool. Let's say they don't bring in someone else. Let's just say you're just gonna run it with the players that you got there, right? And bring up Ben Doak and whatever to come through the youth system. If you just keep those guys, I can imagine people like Trent just be like, "Well, are you sure? Like, are you are you 100% sure this is the right move for us? Like, I'll back it, but I don't know. Like, do you think that's the right move?"
You know what they'll start doing? You know what they'll start doing when they're getting in training and that, and Slot's there talking, Trent's just zinging the ball at his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not saying
like, control that, man.
What are you doing? Just sorry, I'm just trying to switch the play.
You man are right though. Whatever exit there is, it has to be a decent exit. It all has to be Salah wants to leave. You can't be
Salah wants to leave. It's got to be like Mane.
Yeah.
He's got to want to leave, and then it's calm. If you force him out,
man, we're talking about.
They can force that upon him though. They can almost force that issue because remember, Mane. I feel like Mane would have stayed if they just offered him the contract when he knew they weren't offering him a better deal or whatever deal that he wanted. Same with Genie. Their man would have stayed. They just didn't want to stay on the current deals that they were.
Because like the Ten Hag one, bro, Mandem said that like, yo, they had Sancho just eating in the canteen on his own and that. But the other Mandem can't speak to Mandem that. You know, like man's in school inclusion and that.
No, but do it is G. But do it is G. I know you're. I know we're saying that, but you couldn't. Like if they force it upon him, yeah, it's different. When FSG are forcing and saying Mane, like we're not going to give you that P, yeah, it's Klopp in it. So Klopp's like again, the way it's been panned out to us anyway is that Klopp has been like not anti-regime, but he's been siding with the players. Like he wants to keep these players, and they're taking away his players. So he puts his foot down with Henderson. Like he's on the side of the players. If Slot comes in, they can't get rid of a player like on the first day and go like Slot wants to keep Salah, but they're taking Salah away. They would have had that discussion in it. Like with the players I've got here, is there anyone that we need to go and sell? And they'd be like, you know what? Maybe there's one player. All right, cool. Nunes, I'm calm with that. But I want to keep Salah in an ideal world, and I want to keep Verge. If FSG just go and sign and get rid of again any of these players, any of the big players, the club will know. Like, yes, Slot agreed to this. It's not like they went behind Slot's back. Because he would have been privy to what's going on, and he would have been like, "Yeah, calm." It's like when Mourinho came in and they sent Schweinsteiger to train with the under-14s.
Yeah,
like
Schweinsteiger knew, like it was Mourinho, innit?
This is interesting, because I was just watching Moneyball 2 days ago, and this is the model we run off on it. You watch that movie, the Moneyball?
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, and obviously that's John Henry's in the movie. And that's what I'm thinking of now. That's what happens in the movie. They get rid of their best baseball player, bro. Man's just like, Brad Pitt's just like, I'm getting rid of him, man. Like, no, you can't do that still. Like, no, I can. I'm getting rid of him, bro. To make the team better and that, bro. And man, the coach is like, he just tells the coach he's gone. You're not playing him. He's like, you can't tell me not to play my best player. He's like, well, you can't play him because he plays for a different team now. It's done. I'm like, you fucked, bro.
Okay. Clearly, I've not got a job here, and I haven't got to say so. But fair enough. If you
imagine that, imagine Slot wakes up and he's like, "Yeah, he had that talk with Salah, innit? Right? Axel telling him he's a forward. He comes in next training session. He's like, he's to his assistant number 2. Like, where's Mo? Where's Mo?
Imagine, bro.
and he just gets a call quickly, like from Henry, like, yeah, Salah, he's in Saudi Arabia having his medical. He's like, what? Turns on Sky Sports, man holding the Al Hilal jersey, like.
Anyhow, I see man wearing that yellow. Is it yellow and black?
No, Al Hilal was blue. Al Hilal's blue.
The blue one.
I'm glad football ain't like baseball, man, because them man just been making phone calls to get rid of man and that. Like, you want him? Yeah, safe, bro. I ain't saying no more. It's yours, bro.
It's like trading baseball cards.
But Donnie's still in the building while you're saying that, so you're on the phone. Yeah, he's in the other room and going into the canteen. Oh, you're using a microwave now. Oh, you've been drafted still. Swear down, yeah, blood. But I just
have you seen the NFL brother that went through that? And they asked him, they asked him to come into the office, and he's been there like, yeah, sorry, it's just not working out. Like,
that's how it works, man. You gone, blood.
and he's like, you're going Kentucky, and the guy actually looks like he has a nervous breakdown. The guy's like, he has no say where he's going. It's like, yeah, you're going Kentucky. You're there on a 2-year deal. Yeah, it's just not worked out. We've traded for you, and yeah, wish you all the best. You got
American sports, they've accepted more often that they're just a product in it.
Yeah. Whereas in the
there's more emotion in it. Like the fans were ready to mash man up and that over it. But
bro, the fans are ready to turn on. Whereas in America, I don't feel like. Not to say that them man are not saying anything, because I know I see, especially with like the Red Bull and all of that. Red Sox, sorry. Like when I see the fans talking about the owners, I hear it. But I feel like, as you said, them men are just like, like, cool. You know what I mean? Basketball, that's another one. Like, fans will say things. Like, of course you're gonna say, bro, if you're not happy with something, you're gonna want to voice that. But they're just accepting, like, all right, cool. So we traded LeBron for bro, I'm not really feeling it, but you know what, cool, whatever.
Yeah, you say that in England, man will laugh like, yeah, obviously not. It's not serious. And then when you realise, man are screwing, bro.
Yeah. All right, people, let me get through some of these questions there. Big up RJ in the building. It's been a good chat this morning. Actually, it's funny. And I'm really starting to see the I don't want to say hate. I think like hate's the wrong word, but I'm starting to see the vibe, the cloud around Mo Salah with a lot of you people. But it's fine. It's fine. We will be here. We will be here.
This is what happens with the Decepticons. This is what happens with the Decepticons, man. You were going and you were gunning for Klopp. You didn't realize that it will result in your boy Mo Salah.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is it. Like, why do you think I just kept, bro? These times this season I've been kind of quiet on Klopp. Yeah, I mean, I thought, let me just allow him a little bit, and and. Is anyone disappointed that our senior players did not manage to carry us over the line?
Over the line, no, but the last few games, yeah, disappointed though. Over the line is whatever in it, but I just, some of them seem like they ain't trying, bro, like they checked out, bro. So yeah, very disappointing. I mean, and I think Virgil's got I think the realization of being Liverpool captain might have hit him this season. So you have to step up as well, bro. Not blaming him for anything, but I just see some stuff on the pitch, and whatever you man are looking at the TV shouting at, Virgil should be shouting at the man then, bro. But he's just like,
real?
Yeah, but he's too busy. He's just fixing his hair and looking at the sky, bro. Like pissed at stuff like.
And then you want to start shouting at everybody else. I'm like, brother, like,
I pay anyone to watch Calvert-Lewin's goal and watch Virgil's reaction. He jumps up and down on the spot like a child.
Yeah.
Bro. And then doesn't go up to anyone and tell them what you should have done.
Yeah. He's just shouting, like it's like he's just shouting for shouting's sake.
You remember the moment in the game when Everton have another corner, and at this point they keep nearly scoring off every corner, and he's got Nunes in front of him, and he's trying to tell Nunes where to go, and Nunes looks confused, bro. And then he leaves him, and Nunes just steps back to where Virgil told him to move from. Big man. At that point, you push him out. You'd have to push him.
Yeah.
I think McAllister had to from the he was on the post, and he had to tell him like. That can't happen, bro. When you did, you know what I mean. And jokes aside, man, know that I like Hendo and that. But jokes aside, I know about whatever. It's not even that. But sometimes you have to scream at man, bro. You just can't let them get away with it, bro. It's for the betterment of the team, innit? You know what I mean?
We said it.
Exactly.
We said it yesterday. We said it yesterday, innit? When we were talking about like the whole leading by example thing is calm. Yes. But the basic, you need a brother that's gonna go and talk. When you had Henderson talking, you had Milner talking. Yeah, you had Mo and all these brothers that can just lead by example. When Gerrard was leading by example, he's in an attacking position where he can go and score a goal. But he had Carragher behind him that was doing all the talking for the team. When he weren't there, man was getting red carded in that. Man was getting red carded in derbies, red carded, do you know what I mean, against United, because he couldn't keep his head. So I don't know. For me,
and that's why Trent being the vice captain's cute and that, bro. But he's one of the people that need shouting at sometimes. And
bro, real talk.
But you see, Virg, do you man think he actually shouts? I just think he opens his mouth. I've never heard him shout.
I hear him like he's definitely talking, and then every now and again I hear him. It's like a reaction to stuff, though. It's never. He doesn't seem to be proactive. It's always the reaction to something happening.
Yeah.
And then he's moaning at something. I see Alisson shout more than anyone else.
Yeah.
He's like, I've made 4 world-class saves and I still can't get a clean sheet, bro.
I'm telling you, Alisson's gonna be They're man gonna have to start paying Allison come the end of the season.
Yeah. So we should do that a little bit more. I mean, I remember at the time when I was picking the captain, and I said Robbo in it only because I see him with Scotland exactly the same. People were too gassed up on how good somebody was. That Virgil's the best player in the world. I'm like, yeah, I understand all that. It's not going to change anything. Yeah, I mean, you can still be a leader in certain ways, but
yeah, I'd have given it Robert. To be fair,
remember last season when like we played Man U, we lost the game and that Sancho sat Milner down in it, but it was because Virgil weren't defending properly. And you saw what Milner how he reacted to Virgil, bro.
Because Milner don't care, bro.
You don't care, bro.
You are, bro.
Like in the face and time to wake up, bro. Just, listen, man, respect me in it because I'm trying to do the best for the team. And that has to be it. And Jerry's right because the lead by example thing would be cup final, Chelsea, lead by example, gets the winning goal, put the team on your back. But sometimes it has to be just words, bro.
Majority of the time, it's the talking, bro. It's the organisation.
Of course it is. Especially in the moments where we get rattled. That's one thing I don't like about Liverpool. Like, if you're the rival team, you should know that if you score past us, the 10 minutes after, you could rattle us for the whole 10 minutes, bro. You should try and get a goal in that spot because man lose their head, bro. And that's when you need man to be like, nah, just make the game boring and slow the game down, bro. Don't be trying to rush and get another goal back within the next 2 minutes. Just calm down.
That's why I always feel like it's about having the experience to kind of do those things, but then having the know-how as well at times. I'm like, bro, there's certain situations where you have to do what Savage is saying, bro. Just because it's game state. Just in that moment, I need you to do this to gauge. Prime example, there was a game we played against Atletico Madrid. Remember there was the game that we played at their ground and they were trying to get Sadio sent off. They were trying. Like Sadio would just jump up for a header. Oh, ref. Like, I will go there. You see all of that stuff after, and Klopp ended up taking Sadio off when he got the first yellow card. I said, you see, Atletico, they're so clever. They knew Mane was a threat. They just knew he was a threat. And they knew if we can make sure he either comes off the pitch, either it's being subbed or being sent off, bro, we're gonna go away in potentially beating Liverpool in this kind of game. And I was like, yeah, 100%. 100%, because he was our most threatening player in that game. But Atletico Madrid, they've got that dark.
Well, Everton did the same thing to Virgil.
Yeah.
We'll just attack him. He's the key. And then the lead by example thing as well, when we're trying to get a goal with 5 minutes to go, the captain's urgency is spurring the team on, innit? Virgil has zero urgency at the end of the game, bro. Like, is it monotone the whole game? So we got like 5 minutes to score past Palace, and he's just passing the ball between him and Canate, bro, running the clock down. I said, big man, if you don't kick that ball forward, bro, I don't know what you're doing, bro.
You know what, though? You know what?
Front or something, bro.
No. Just about to come to that. I don't want him up front. You are useless up front. You're big for nothing. You don't possess anything for me. Like, when I see, listen, by the way, Virgil, best centre back in my opinion in the world. When I see my man go up front, I'm just like, why are you here? You're a nuisance. You get in the way. You're not technically going to be good.
But the man refuses to shoot on it with his feet. He refuses. The ball drops at his feet in the box. He refuses.
Why are you even here? Like, you're not even here where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm trying to think of like a centre back. Okay, prime example, if like Vardio was to go up front, I'd be a bit more inclined to think
Vardio,
that able to finish.
Gabriel will do it as well.
Van der
Ven, maybe Van der Ven as well. Like
Romero yesterday against Arsenal. Why did he run down Raya, bruv? He was at centre back. He ran him down and made him make a mistake, bruv. This is what I'm saying.
Virgil's not doing that. Like, Virgil, you're a sick defender, but bro, like, where's the Celtic one where I'm seeing man slap the free kick into that? Like, where's that guy? Because I've never ever seen that guy, like, ever, not once.
Man really feeds into the vibes thing. Everyone knows that he looks like vibes and chilled out all the time. He feeds into that boy. Because do you ever see that thing that they put him in that Netflix movie and did you see the trailer to it when he gets banged in the face? You know how calm he was when he got banged in the face. Yeah,
I was baffled. I was like, why is Virgil in a Netflix movie?
Bro, he got banged in the face and didn't even get angry. He's like, oh, you hit me? What, bro? What's going on, bro? This is acting and you still can't get hyped up for it, bro. What are you talking?
Bro, you listen. Big up, Michael. So are we gonna let Salah leave on a free if we're trying to keep him? No, I think they're gonna try and negotiate a deal. I think they'll negotiate a deal.
Oh no, bro. Every time G reads that Salah comment, his shoulders go up, brother. You all right, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like I'm just trying to get myself comfortable. Yeah, I mean, 'cause see me. Yeah, what I need to start doing is start reading some of these questions before I even just throw them up there. It catches me off guard sometimes. I'm like, all right, yeah, fair enough. So yeah, Salah, like let's talk on that. But listen, man, if you're gonna sell the guy, just sell the guy, man. You guys clearly are happy if the guy leaves the football club.
Bro.
We've already seen David Ornstein mention that he will be staying at the football club anyway. So it is what it is, man. You guys got your favorites.
Bro,
Don't be laughing at me.
he might stay, bro.
Yeah.
He might stay. Relax. Number 11
Yes,
might
but
win for you, bro.
what I'm saying. He may stay. Honestly, question: why didn't we go for someone like Cole Palmer when he was at City? They are not going to sell.
Yeah, that's just hindsight, bro. Like the Chelsea thing came out of nowhere, bro.
Yeah, and he was going. What club was he going to before that?
Someone lower in the table, and
I want to say Burnley. I feel like I fully want to say.
Yeah, it went. What was it? Bournemouth, Burnley. Was it
Someone in
Brentford?
the chat let me know. I'm sure he was on the move.
Yeah, he was on the way to one of
Burnley
them.
for the company, innit?
Yeah, it's Burnley. He was Burnley. Yeah.
Company. Yes. But he was Chelsea. Like that came out of just like randomly. Like it was like, oh, all right. Remember Chelsea?
Bro, I've rated Cole Palmer, but I didn't know he was going to be Chelsea's savior, blood. I mean,
yeah, nah. I didn't rate him that highly at all. I can tell you that for free. What are some right wingers that you want Liverpool to consider signing this summer since Salah is staying? I'll pose that question to Savage and Jerry. They can tell you guys what players they want to sign. I don't, but let these guys tell you.
Well, it's going to be someone to be on the bench, isn't it? Well, Salah's not going on the bench. Bro.
If you could just think of that, and I'm not trying to go into like a whole in-depth like who, because we could, off the top of my head, I wouldn't even know really anyway. I'd have to sit down and check it. But if there is someone out there that you've actually looked at and thought, nah, like he can, you know what I mean? Like that would be someone I want the club to at least go in for at the bare minimum, realistically.
No, Lisa.
Mm.
Bailey. I don't think Villa will sell Bailey to us actually, but would be stupid. But he's definitely. You could rattle with Bailey though. You could throw in a 1 year and then he might throw in a transfer request, but he's that kind of guy, bro. Like he's not.
Man, bro. I know how you Jamaicans stay, man. I mean,
there's no need for that, bro. There's no need for that. Bro.
I don't know if I want a yard, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I need all that.
Sterling, he's like Sterling, but worse. Man, start talking about about Slot and that, saying training great.
Bro, you just said Slot might come in and say turn the Afro beats off. So what are we gonna be doing with vibes?
I'm gonna lie, bro. The way I heard Bailey speaking that podcast about the Jamaican national team the other day, bro. Yeah, man said they come to watch me, blood. Yeah, I mean, I could be at Real Madrid and that. I said, what?
This is what I'm trying to say.
You're talking about Madrid already, bro. That's what I'm saying. You might be able to rattle him, bro, but he'll do the same to us. So if we get him, just know 3 seasons later, he's trying to get to Barca, bro. He just
definitely trying to get there.
Oh, yes.
Jerry, if there was a player that you could potentially sign. Very good point, by the way, Pedro.
What are you saying? A player that's gonna compete?
No,
with
someone that you like. It doesn't. Why? Like as Bajan literally pops is saying here. Why does it have to be a man for the bench? Why can't it just be a start? Like, why can't you buy someone who's going to come in and start?
Because I assume if a Salah's staying, he's not saying.
That's what I said.
He has to be on the bench. Yeah. That's why. If he has that conversation with Salah and Salah's like, yeah, this is calm. Like, I don't mind being second best. Then you might as well just get rid of him because he's taking too much of the wage bill anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? So, me, I'm going like Bowen, man. I'm going Bowen.
Love Bowen, man.
I'm going Bowen. I think
9 or some shit.
He plays left, plays right, holds up the ball, keeps it well, can finish, scored in big games, scored in the final.
Yeah.
He's a good player. Won't break the bank. Like, you're not paying like 50, 60 million for him, I don't think.
For Bowen? You are 100% paying 50, 60 million.
Yeah, you are. The West Ham guy. Yeah.
No, West Ham English club, West Ham, bro, we've seen what West Ham do with their deals, bro. They're not letting that go.
But I hear that. But obviously, Rice... England international starter.
Bowen, main starter, literally the starter.
No, Arsenal and City want him. Like that's that big. Bowen don't start for England. Bowen again, like he's not that same age profile. I don't know if you're paying 50. Maybe I might be wrong. Like I'm not like I hear it. I think he's worth it. I just think you can be a bit smart. I don't know how much he's got left on his deal. But you know,
Yeah,
he's
that's
someone
why,
again
yeah.
that will want to leave. He will want to go and progress. This is like the
The thing
last.
is, it doesn't help with him, innit? Because he's like you know how like Noble and them man are. They're West Ham guys, innit?
Mm.
You know, like you can just play for West Ham and be whatever. You can be like Declan Rice and Noble and that. He's one of them now. That's their savior blood.
Yeah, let me see. He's got how much has he got left on his deal? Let me have a look now. I'm trying to
Danny Dyer and them man, innit? This is missus, isn't it? Danny Dyer's daughter.
Yeah, Danny Dyer's daughter. Yeah, that's his girl.
Who's that? Who?
Bowen.
Oh, yeah. Because I feel like I've heard Danny Dyer speak on that because the West Ham.
Yeah. He loves it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right, man. His value is 50 million euros.
Yeah, it makes sense, man.
All right, look,
so, yeah.
with Edwards in maybe like 45 in it, but I think you can get him for the same amount as like Diaz and Gakpo and them, man.
Yeah, you can run some add-ons on there and like, if he gets to this final, blah blah blah.
Yeah, like a Jota. You know the price we pay for Jota, something like that. I think you can grab him.
Yeah.
But yeah, good player, man, and he's of a good age, man. He's 27.
Yeah, I love Bowen, man. He's a G, man. I like people like Bowen and Harvey Barnes. And
He's right.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, he's right. That's why I would consider to be like a bench player. I'll be like, okay, yeah, I don't mind him coming off the bench. Like
Bowen?
Yeah. Like I'll be like calm with him. Like,
but you don't like him. But you don't like him as a starter. You don't think he's good enough to be a starter.
Not for us, no. I think for someone, not for us. Like like I said, obviously there's other moving parts with someone like a Salah. Even if he stays or goes, there's moving parts behind it. Like I still want us to go out and buy number 9, regardless of Salah staying or going. By the way, like that position is more pivotal than Salah staying or going. That's the most important thing, because there's no point in Salah even staying if he's still got Nunes that he's the one feeding. There's no point in Salah going and then you lose your most potent player and you're going to try and obviously you can't replicate it in the transfer market. I get that, but you're then thinking, shit, that's kind of really 2 positions I need to sort out, which is the right wing. First of all, getting someone in. Now I'm probably going to have to promote Ben Doak as a right wing because you're not going to go out and sign 2, are you? So you're going to just buy 1 for that position. And I still need to go out and sign a striker. So Salah staying, again, does make sense when I'm starting to think about it more, because I'm like, slyly, how much money do you think we got to spend? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, where are we going to get money to keep back? Remember, we're talking about the attack, by the way. I know certain man in the comment you guys have mentioned about they want a centre-back. They want, and I think Liverpool, I think I saw today, Fabrizio literally said Liverpool have already started looking at centre-backs for the summer transfer window as one of the priority positions to cover. Internal talks are taking place about options and lists to be discussed with slots in the next weeks. So we're talking about the attack. Them are looking at centre-back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're about
to see a Nat Phillips rebirth, bro. That's what you're about to see. You're going to see Seth Vandenberg and them, man, bro.
But I'm looking at Bowen stats, 16 goals, 6 assists, and 32 appearances in the Prem.
Good record. Very
good record for West Ham that don't really create chances. Only thing is, that's peak about him. Guess when his contract expires?
3 years.
6 years.
6 years, bruv.
Yeah, they locked him down after the thingy,
Bruv, 2030.
Yeah, it's after the thingy. It's after they won the conference final, and then he was losing Rice.
He must have I feel like he's got like a release.
They must have given him an 8-year deal. They must have given him an 8-year deal then.
You know when they kept trying to like ask David Moyes about Rice and the money and that, and he kept going up, he kept putting the price up. It's that period where they started to fix up the contracts and that. So
that's crazy though. 2030, 6 years from now. He's been there since 2020.
Death row contracts, man.
Like I said, he's one of them players where you're just like, yeah, like that's for me, like West Ham's like your level. Like I feel like that's the level that you should be at. That you're that level.
I think it could be higher. I think it could be higher, man.
But how? But I guess this would then come into where you rank Liverpool. But in my opinion, I'm like, nah, that's too high for you. But that's because I don't look at Liverpool. I'm assuming we don't look at Liverpool on the same level as West Ham. So Liverpool are our type of club that we're talking about are challenging literally for the title and potentially getting far in Champions League. I don't look at Bowen and think that's the guy who's going to help me realistically do that.
No, but but that's what I'm saying. I think it is, because if Trossard, if the likes of Trossard,
I was just going to say Trossard.
I think Trossard is better than Bowen. I think Trossard is better than Bowen.
Well, goal record says no though. And man,
you're going by GA. I'm just talking about when I watch Bowen and watch a thing.
But Trossard, like remember at Brighton, it's not like he was mad consistent. He was in and out. Yeah, he done well against us a couple times, but he wasn't consistent.
He was one of their best players, like literally one of their best players.
No, but he wasn't
He was one of
consistent.
the
He was
best
even getting dropped out. He was getting dropped out for what's it called? Bare times he weren't even starting games. He was playing. He was playing for whether it was March or who was the other left winger that they had, man? Not Mitoma. Who was that before?
Yeah, but even forgetting all of that, because that's like me saying, "Oh, Mahrez." Well, Mahrez was getting dropped left, right, and center, but we still
that's
consider
Mahrez at City,
being.
But that's at City.
That's
at Brighton,
the point. But they're doing the
but
same
at
thing.
Brighton,
Thing.
Brighton. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think
I think what you said's right though. I think Trossard. I was going to say Trossard as well. I think even though G said he thinks Trossard's better, I don't think there's much between them. I think they're very similar. And
I'm not saying that there's like some mad gap between.
And exactly, remember Arsenal done the exact same thing. They got Trossard to be the bench player. It's just so happens that Jesus couldn't score goals and Martinelli fell off a bit. Then Trossard started scoring goals. So if that same thing would happen at Liverpool, you buy Bowen and he's happy to fight for his place, which he's not going to, because no one trusts that Salah's not. He's going to hold bench.
Yeah, the way I see it, is when we went and bought Jota, Bowen is performing at a higher level than Jota was.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man are telling me that Jota is a starter for Liverpool, right? So if that's the case, and we're basing it based off that, I've got to look at it and be like, okay, I assume his level will go up a level by playing with better players, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then Bowen's 16-6 for West Ham could easily be 20-8. Do you know what I mean? And straight away that starts to look a bit.
No, but so that 20-8 definitely wouldn't happen because he's not coming in to start games. He's coming in to be the Trossard of Arsenal, which is
no. But I'm saying he can start. I'm saying if we're looking at Jota as a starter at Liverpool.
But this one, but we're not providing no context. Jota wasn't a starter at Liverpool. He literally was a bench player who used to come off the bench and was consistent when he done so. When other players got injured, and it's only now that he's a starter. Jota was never a starter when he came to Liverpool. Like, we never ever looked at Jota and said he has to start. Where was he starting? What Salah, Mane, Firmino?
When Bobby weren't scoring, man was screaming for Jota to go and start, and it's only up until we got injured.
Klopp's not playing him like that. Like, it's more the odd. And I'm not saying that like he maybe didn't warrant it, but it was purely a case of he's now playing well off the bench enough. As you said, Firmino's not playing well. Jota can play a bit more games. Not to the extent that I'm going to play Firmino, but you can just play a bit more. You're going to start more games now than maybe I would have assumed you would at the beginning of the season. But still, he's still going to be known as you're the fourth choice attacker. There was a pecking order there, bro. And I feel like maybe the only difference, I would agree with you here, there isn't a pecking order now. There's only just Salah, and then the rest are just fighting whatever position. Yeah. So you're right. Bowen may potentially actually play more games just purely out of the fact of, well, the rest of them are dead. So do you know what I mean? Like he could just play just because of that. But when you trying to use that, I'm like, nah, but Jota was never that guy like that. Like, it only became really that guy. Really, I'll be honest, when Mane left, that's when people started really looking at Jota and was like, yeah, nah, Jota can really be the number one starter here. He can play this position, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, then we signed Nunes. Diaz obviously coming in. And even when all these men come in, Jota's still on the bench. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
I'd be fine with signing Bowen and Tony, bro. I'll be fine with that.
Hold on, when did Jota join Liverpool? I'm trying to have a look at it. Is it 2021?
We were in this bit, I feel. No. He was in the season before that.
Season before that.
So this was
after the Champions League win, innit? Season 1 the Champions League. We signed him in the summer. Yeah.
Oh. No, but
we
then
won
we
the
signed
Champions League. Yeah. So 2020 we won the Champions League.
No, but he ain't won the Premier League with us.
Yeah, we won.
Nah, he ain't.
Nah, he ain't won the Premier League with us. Nah.
Yeah, he's only done what? FA Cup.
Oh, okay. So we
Cup,
yeah.
2 Carabao Cups. That's the
most. We signed him in lockdown.
Yeah. So did he have an injury on this leg?
That's crazy. And it don't feel like we signed him in lockdown, bro. But we must have.
You know, I don't know when we signed.
We did. But I'm trying to
sign him in lockdown.
We signed him in lockdown. Remember, he was playing games. Yeah, when we had the first Nike kit, when this year we signed Thiago, that's when we signed Jota.
Yes. Yeah. Because we signed. I feel like we signed Thiago first. No, we signed Jota first, and then Thiago. Then we signed him like close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in terms of
cool. So with Jota, yeah, first season, like I said, he played 19 games. I'm just looking at the Prem. He scored 9 goals, but he was injured. He got injured in that season, right? When he started going
Yeah.
and playing consistently. The season after that, bruv, he had 35 appearances in the league, 15
How many
goals,
were off the
4
bench?
assists.
How many off the bench?
This man stays injured, boy.
Let me see. I'm gonna click detail now.
Man
See how many
entered
off the
Liverpool
bench.
with an injury, and the man stays injured, bro.
Yeah, he
was like that at Wolves as well. He was always on the bench at Wolves.
Eight appearances were off the bench in 35 games, and that's in his first season where he was fit. 21, 22.
No. How many starts is that? 20. What did you say it was? 30?
4. It was 4. No, hold on. No.
Was that the same season that Firmino was injured, or was Firmino available for that season? Because if Firmino was injured,
Bobby was fine that season. Bobby's injuries came in the thingy season.
Yeah, so he was fine. So we were already going and playing Jota for a lot of games. Remember, this is when he was in that yellow kit.
I still don't see it as he wasn't a main starter like that, bro. Like,
bruv, he played 35 games, 15 goals, 4 assists, with 8. And he's only been he was subbed off 17 times, but subbed on 8 times. So the majority of his games were starts. So how can he not be as
for one season out of the 4 that he's been here, he had that season, and I'm sure that's probably the same season that Firmino was not scoring. But as soon as we get back to the next seasons, normal services resume where Firmino's the guy up front.
No, because that was 21-22, then 22-23, he had again. He that was when he got injured again because the guy's injury prone. 22 games, he got 7 goals, 4 assists. He was subbed on 10 times. So that was the season when he was mad injured.
Yeah.
And because he got subbed off 10 times. And then now we're at 23-24. So we're talking about last season, right? When he was just mad injured. Like, apart from that, the first season that he was injured, mad injured. And
that's what I'm saying. So we really had one season. That's what I'm saying. Like we had one season.
When he was fit, going back to my point, if a Bowen is fit, I think there, as Savage said, is if Jota was fit, there's evidence to suggest he'd be playing majority of the games. The fact that he's unfit is the problem. Bowen ain't got an injury problem like that.
I still think Jota's good enough. Either way, back then, I just felt like there was a hierarchy, regardless. But
Bobby weren't playing games then, though. By this point, Bobby was already
poor, though. Like Bobby wasn't really doing anything. Like after we won the Premier League. I'm trying to think. After we won the Premier League, it was 2021. We finished 3rd because that was the Alisson game. Yeah. After that, from really that season onwards, Bobby wasn't really like popping.
Yeah, so that's why we grabbed him. But that's my point. But that's why we grabbed him, innit? Because if there was a hierarchy where it's like, no, like Salah, we wouldn't have had to go and sign another Bobby because everyone would have just kept Minamino. We went and signed a brother for 40 plus M's because clearly this was going to be the guy that said, yeah, you're gonna play ahead of Bobby. And the season where he was fit, that's what he did.
So what are we saying, man? Ivan the Terrible and Bowen and that, or Ivan and
bro, I'm running. That's what I'm running, man. I want that England international.
I'm here for that. Them two, bro.
That Brexit.
Ivan and Bowen.
It's so mad, yeah. When you look at it on the face of it, it's mad because those two play like. I think Tony's a better striker than Bowen is a better whatever he is. Yeah. But I still look at those two and I'm like, it's. I guess it just depends. Obviously, for a first season with the manager, that would be calm, I reckon, like them kind of signings. It's just I always try to look at like signings like, okay, where is this? Obviously, I'm not trying to go back into the era of thinking, oh, yeah, because, and I know some people use that as an argument. Oh, but we signed all these, and you guys are speaking about, oh, yeah, like we signed these relegation. Remember, we're not that team anymore. We're not that team where that was the type of players you had to sign anyway to help you get to that stage. We're at that stage now. We're not down anymore. We're literally at the stage of I would like to think where you're a team who are supposedly challenging and trying to win trophies and et cetera, right? So forget the caliber of player, because if a player is good enough, he's good enough. I don't care what level, whatever. But when I'm looking at some of these players, it's like, yeah, they're good, but does that take you? Mateus Nunes, he's good, but is he really the level that Manchester City need to go further? Cool. Probably not.
Cool. No, you're right.
Who would you sign as a right winger then?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I could not.
I
would probably much prefer to have Elise because he's a lot younger. and he looks like he's got a higher ceiling in terms of potential than a Bowen. Bowen looks like this is the best, and he's 27.
But
So
this
I
is,
don't.
this is, but this is, but what I'm saying, but this is what I don't want. What I don't want is for Liverpool, and this is where I kind of I don't even want to get to the FSG thing, but this is where it kind of annoys me. I don't want us to go and just become like Chelsea 2.0, where we're signing bare youngsters, expecting them to perform, and when they go and drop off, or when they
No, but
go
we're
and
talking
do
about
this,
players performing now, though. Like he's not
no,
like
no,
he's
he's
not
performing now. He's performing now, but then he's performing again. He's a big fish in a small pond where it's a completely different situation. I've seen Bearman go and perform we've seen Zaha perform at flipping Crystal Palace and look crazy. Go to United and it looks dead. It looks horrible. Do you know what I mean? To the point where he's got to go and go back.
I feel
So
that it's
I'm looking at these
right here.
players. I'm looking at players where I'm like, cool. How long have you been the go-to guy at West Ham? Now, when you're looking at Rice, when you're looking at Bowen, when I'm looking at Tony, right, they're the go-to guy in that team. And then how often do they go and turn up? Like, where you're like, for me, for example, when I look at Crystal Palace, Eze's got more of that. I'm the Don Dada at Crystal Palace than Elise, even though Elise is a baller.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So when you're talking about midfielder, I can hear that. I don't want us to go and do this thing that Chelsea go and sign, where it's a brother that's got mad potential, but at this point in time, it's like, yeah, he's doing this, and on top of that, man's injury prone. I want Liverpool now to go, and like you're saying now, we're not in a situation where we've got to go and look at these young players and be like, cool, in 5 or 6 years, we need to. Yeah, I want to go and get guys now that are in their peak. So in the next 2 to 3 years, they're performing at the optimal level. So a Bowen now is 27, 28, 29, 30, maybe 31. You got 4 years out of him, calm. You got Tony, similar situation. 4 years out of him, calm. Can you go and squeeze out the best from him right now in this situation where, again, this team have clearly proven that they can go on whatever title push you want to call it. And I don't know what we want to call it, whether it's shit, whether it's good, whether you think they fell off, whatever it is, we're third in it. I don't want us to be in a situation where we're signing Calvin Stengs and some Dutch brothers like Bakayoko and hoping that he's gonna do. I mean, he's gonna be the savior to Salah. When I don't that's my issue with it.
Yeah, no. So that stuff like that, I get it, because like something like a Bakayoko who's younger than an Elise, not experienced at the Premier League level anyway, kind of thing. Like he looks like that might be a few years before we even see something like that. Elise, I wouldn't really mind so much. I feel like every top club in England will probably, if he was available, like just if he was on a free, every top club will be trying to get his signature. Because
if you're on a free, 100%.
Yeah, on a free, because he's that good of a player. Obviously, he's not on a free. You'd have to spend whatever money you need to get him. Bowen, I agree. He is in that kind of prime. I just don't know if that prime is really good enough. That's my only issue. Not that he isn't a good player. I just don't see Bowen and look at him and think that's the level kind of thing. Like I almost feel like it's almost like I see it when he's even with England. I look around and I think, yeah, you just even look like you just don't suit being at, when there's ballers around, you don't suit that kind of thing. Like you look like you need to be at West Ham. Like you have to be at West Ham because you're the best there kind of thing. Whereas now you put man in and amongst ballers, he just starts falling down the list of players that we start talking about, where you're like, he's not better than this guy. He doesn't play ahead of this guy, that guy. Now he's just there because of what he's doing at a West Ham. Obviously, the caveat to that, and where I have to agree with Jerry, is Liverpool's attack is dead. So the reality is he probably would come in and probably play games, like a lot of games regardless. Whereas Jota, it would have been difficult because you're trying to usurp the generational front three that we talk about, as opposed to this ain't generational. This is, I don't know what the hell this is. This is one man and his dog just trying to run his rhythm, going for a walk, and the rest of them are just trying to follow behind. Like it's not looking pretty. But listen, man, look, Tony, I'm with Tony. I will take the Tony one because I feel like with someone like Tony, that's someone I believe more in to be able to take that next step up. Mentality, the way that he plays, like he just looks like I'm ready. Like I'm ready. Like, come on, let's go, kind of thing. Bowen, I just don't get that energy.
The talent pool's not that much, man. That's what I'm saying. The talent pool ain't as big as it once was. So
yeah, bro, we got bare media. Like even now, and I'm not.
And all the good players are all injury prone, bro. Because let's be honest, bro, no injuries in that, bro. Neto, I'm getting him now, blood, straight away.
Oh, Neto, that's an obviously injury, so maybe not. But yes, Neto is a player I look at and think, bro, he's already a top level player. He's proven in the whole time that he's been here that he is a top level player. But the injuries just kill, man. Like I couldn't. We already have problems with injuries at this football club, and he looks like someone who gets injuries walking down the stairs.
You can't have him and Jota in the same squad. That's Portugal, bro. You don't know.
Embuemo, that's another one I would look at. I would rather Embuemo than I would Bowen. I'd much rather.
Really?
Say that again.
I wouldn't.
Really? I wouldn't. I think Mbeumo's...
I'll take Mbeumo. I'll take Mbeumo at
Raw.
Liverpool, but I wouldn't have him over Bowen. No way.
Bowen, yeah.
Nah,
Bowen's
I'm
way more
thinking-
refined, man. Bowen's way more refined. Left foot, right foot header, scoring, like his ball retention. I think it's much better.
I know what
I would
it is,
have
G,
Mbeumo,
bro.
though.
G,
I would
G,
have
it's all
Mbeumo.
right, man.
I would have him. I would have him.
When you look at Bowen, you see Pie and Mash on it, bro. That's what it is,
It's
man.
not, bro, it's not
that's
even
what
that.
G is, man. G just wants a bit of sauce.
Yeah, man. He looks like a Pie and Mash baller, bro. Nothing about
No,
him.
yeah, I mean, there might be that, but I promise you, like, when you're looking at someone like Bowen, again, there's no vibe that I get from him and think to myself, yeah, he's ready necessarily for like a step up. Like, he is comfortable just being at the like West Ham. So I feel like the level you're seeing from him now, obviously, like I said, he's 27. I do not see that getting any better. This is going to be Bowen. So you're taking him at this value kind of thing. So I'm trying to think, okay, if I apply that to Liverpool, obviously you're hoping that players will get better. Obviously, unless you're buying a 33-year-old player, I'm hoping this guy's going to get better. I don't see that. In Mbeumo, I see him get better than he is already now. And the type of player that
Ain't
he
he
is.
like 26? Ain't he like 26?
Nah, Mbeumo's quite, he's younger than I'm going to say. He's younger. I don't know.
Maybe
but I'm
he is.
sure.
Maybe he is.
Let me check Mbeumo.
Yeah, he's 25 this year. Yeah,
Mbeumo
he's
looks
25,
43,
24,
bro.
25.
Yeah, he looks old. The man got the
43,
beard and you get what I'm trying to say. But again, Savage just said it there, and I think someone's probably said it here in the comments. Realize these are the level of players that we're talking about. We're not talking about top level players in any of these names.
I understand what you're saying. Like, both arguments standing in it because you're looking further forward of if you want Liverpool to be at this top level. Yeah, I mean that's not the kind of player. But if we're talking about Liverpool now, I think if Bowen was in the squad now, blood, yeah.
But this is that's my only issue is, again, I don't mind you getting these kind of guys. I don't mind. I don't know how old Tony is. I don't mind you getting these kind of players. Real Madrid, when you look at them, they've got all of these top ballers and whatever. But look what they've done. They got Vinicius when he wasn't the Vinicius of today, but you could see that he was going to be that player. Obviously, you don't know, but they had a very good inkling that he was going to be that kind of player. I'm now looking at our team and I'm like, it's all well and good having a Bowen who might be good for a year or two. Man's going to have to ship him off at the end of year 2 because I'm going to be like, yeah, this is probably the best we're going to get from him. Now we're starting this whole thing again. And we're not the kind of club who's just going to keep spending money. So I'm almost just looking at thinking, can you get someone cool? Let's just say we don't think Mbeumo or Elise might be as good as Bowen. Not a problem. The level is probably an inch behind. He's probably like an inch behind them too. But the ceiling that you've got with these players and how long we've got until they will probably surpass a Bowen's level and be better, bro. I'd rather you take that gamble as opposed to Bowen being who he is now.
Do you think these guys would stay at Liverpool though? Do you think Liverpool going and signing, like especially now signing a brother that's like 21, 22, 23, is going to stay at Liverpool for the duration where you think like no, but do you think he's going to start the duration? This is mad. Do you think he's going to start for the duration where, again, you know, like a Vinicius, he's comfortable staying at Real Madrid because he knows I'm not going anywhere else. This is the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
And Elise again, you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, bruv, man's going to go and hit another level and he's going to want to bounce. Like, Elise is not coming to stay at Liverpool. And be like, but I don't think these brothers are coming here to stay at Liverpool for 10, 12 years.
I don't need that, though.
But that's why we have to change the culture of the club, isn't it? That's the thing, Jerry, you're right. But obviously, we want to get to a point where you can change the culture of the club and man don't want to leave Liverpool, innit?
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be the Real Madrid and Barcelona thing. That's never going to leave, innit? But everyone else, you want to get them to the point where they don't really want to bounce in it. Mane didn't really want to leave. Salah didn't really want to leave.
Hey, chill out with the hairline. Chill out.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I think when you look at what Real Madrid did with like Vinicius and stuff, they were only able to go and do that because of the players that they had playing ahead of them, innit? Yeah. Liverpool clearly haven't got that right now, innit? So Liverpool should have done that when you got Salah and stuff. And again, you're in a difficult situation because if you're signing a player to be back up to Salah, he knows that player knows he's not going to go and play. So he's looking at it thinking, I can go and play because even if I'm not playing at Liverpool, I'm not at the pinnacle of football like I'm at Real Madrid or Barcelona. Whereas these men feel like they're at the pinnacle, so they'll just bide their time, knowing that they're going to go and play. These other brothers won't go and do that. So you can go and obviously buy this Elise brother, but if we buy this Elise brother, best believe Elise has to be your main. Like I'm looking now on transfer market, he's 50 million. Yeah, Elise's got to be your starter in it because you're paying 60 million plus for this brother.
Yeah, but that's you're paying about 50 million for Bowen. So what's he gonna be?
No. But if you're paying 60 million for it, you've got to go and see a guy that goes and gets what the most goals he's ever got in his season. Elise 7 goals here. How many goals here? Hold on, not 7 goals. What am I talking about? 7 goals. He's got 7 goals this season. Yeah, so the most goals he's ever got, in a season, is I think it's this year with 7. He's got 11 goals in his entire Premier League career. You're asking him to come in and be that guy for Liverpool again to get to that level where man don't want to go and leave. That's my problem with it because I can't expect him to do that. Because he's at Palace.
This is where it is. What are you expecting? I'm not expecting him to come in and score 20 goals. I really don't need him to do that. He's not there for that.
Yeah, no, but he's not gonna. But I'm not looking at Elise thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna go and it's gonna be like flying upwards as soon as he goes and joins Liverpool. For me, it will be like Vinicius, innit? It will be like you sign a brother, you can see the talent there, but like he's got to bide this time until he's ready to go and emerge. But we haven't got anyone there to go and do that. Hence why I'm looking at like people like Bowen and Tony. I know are coming in. Bowen's not gonna come in and like unless something went horribly wrong. He's not coming in and ending up the season with like 7 goals and 4 assists. Like what I'm seeing with it. He's not doing that. He's gonna get you because he does. There's certain things he does. He just goes and get. I just think he goes and gets goals. I think when you go and look at Tony's not coming in to go and give you 5 goals and 4 assists if he's playing a full season and he's fit. He's gonna get you like 15 goals. 15 goals. So you know already, all right, cool, we can get the 15 goals. Can that player now help propel us to a level where we're now going and whether it's getting back into the being in the top 4 consistently without these up and down seasons and all of this and relying on Klopp telling us to leave and stuff? Can we go and cement ourselves somewhere in this league? Then off that basis, can we then go and buy the better players to then bring in the likes of an Elise that can be there for the future and that are comfortable sitting on the bench, knowing I'm behind this player, but it's calm. I know I'm going to play soon. Because what we've seen at Tottenham, at Liverpool, and I'm grouping us together, is that when there's a brother like a Harry Kane in the picture, look at the forwards they can go and they what's it called, attract. It's the likes of Minamino, it's the likes of Shaqiri, it's the likes of what's that brother's name, man? Vinicius and them forwards there where them man can't get a sniff because you got Harry Kane and they know they ain't playing, you ain't playing ahead of them. And that's the difference. Whereas these other top teams can have a Harry Kane, but will have a top talent like Endrick on the bench. And he's calm, just waiting, biding his time because he knows I'm at the pinnacle of football. And I don't think Liverpool will ever get there.
Jerry has told us exactly how he feels. Exactly how he feels towards Liverpool. You guys heard it here first, man. But now, listen, everything you're saying, though, man. Like I said, man, I write all this stuff down, and I'm looking at when you're talking, I was looking at Bowen's record, looking at Elise, looking at Mbeumo, looking at a few other players, and it's tricky because you're right. We're not at that stage where you can just say, yeah, this brother can just come in, chill. We should have done that maybe a year or 2 ago when during that period of time. Someone in the comments just mentioned about 2 seasons ago, we would have looked at replacing Curtis Jones with Eze. Yeah, that's something that we should be doing. Not replacing Jones now because we've seen what he's like, but you could tell that this player was already playing at that time. At that time, he was already playing at a higher level. So imagine what that would have done coming into Liverpool. He's already at a higher level. We've seen Jones get his time and bide it and blah blah blah, and now he's at whatever level you think he's at. Imagine what Eze would have been like now. Like today, Eze at Liverpool, had he come 2 seasons ago, as an example. I can only see that being, monumental. I mean, I'd still go out and buy Eze now, but where he'd fit into the team, I have no idea. Just signing for the sake of signing. But yeah, it's a tricky one. I think Liverpool, for me, next season, we're just it's a precarious position, bro. Like, I just don't see everything being so black and white. I'm not saying you guys are seeing it like it's just simple. Yeah, get rid of this guy, bring that guy in. Of course not. Tony, I don't mind Tony at all because that's a striker and he gets me goals. I can live with that. I reckon he'd only be good for another like 2, 3 at a push. But I think 2 seasons, you'll get a solid Ivan Tony at the top level. I can kind of deal with that for the time being, provided you're then next season. I'm looking at getting someone a tad bit younger with obviously a high, not even a high ceiling, just someone who's good and obviously just a bit younger than what Tony is now, who's 20.
26. He's 26. He's 26.
Oh, he's 20. Okay. Oh, okay. He's 26. Okay. I thought he was. I assumed he was actually older. Fair enough then. Maybe I'll keep it a bit longer. Ivan Tony.
No, he's 28.
Oh, he's 28.
Yeah,
Oh, is he?
Ivan Toney's 28. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and-
he's 28. Yeah, he's my age. Yeah, he's my age. He's 28. He's 28.
Okay, then nah. Yeah. That's a 2-season thing. Yeah, he ain't gonna do anything past that. So yeah, you get 2 seasons of Ivan Tony, but you're gonna get optimum level, I think, of an Ivan Tony, and then you will be trying to look at like who's the next one that's kind of pushing through, kind of thing. I mean, honestly, man, yeah, like it's peak because I just think that I'm looking at Liverpool and I just think the way everyone's talking about this Liverpool moving into next season, we're going to be in real transition, in my opinion, like some serious transition.
And I think we are, G, 100%. I think that's what fans need to get into their head is that I'm not, I know like I've seen Hussam, shout out to Hussam, is saying that, he was saying, I think Liverpool, if we get the right manager in, we're competing for the title next season. And no matter who comes in for me, it was always going to go and be a transition season because you're going to, again, the manager's going to have to go and like imprint his ideals on the team, culturally change what he wants about the team because there's going to be certain things he might like doing. It might be like, bruv, the cake and custard that they serve in the canteen might have to be like custard now, innit? You ain't getting that full fat custard. It might be, the ketchup might be Hellman's. It might not be Heinz anymore because it's got too much sugar. Like all that.
Times I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat.
That's what I'm saying. It's all that stuff, and you just don't know what it is. So for me, I think what you need to go and steady the ship, and the reason why I go for like again players, and I speak about your Tonys and your Bowens and is because they look hungry to go to that next level individually for themselves because they know it's the last chance I'm going to go and get to go and prove myself at that level. So when you go and get these players, they're the ones that are going to go and like new manager comes in, they listen to what the manager's saying because they're like, I'm playing Champions League for the first time and all of that. I don't want to go and get a brother like, like an Eze looks hungry as well, but I don't want to get certain players out there that are just going to be like, I'm 21, I'm calm, I've still got bare time, because naturally they're going to go and think that. And that's where, again, when you look at what Liverpool did when they were signing players, when they were going through that transition, it was buying a Mane, that's 24, 25, buying a Salah, that's 24, 25, buying a Bobby, that's 24, 25. That age bracket, that can then obviously, they're hungry for that, all right, cool. This is the next step in my career. Can I go and push on? And I think, again, Bowen, but Tony's on the latter end of that. But he's got that mentality where I want a push. This isn't like I'm coming in because I want a paycheck. I'm coming in because I want to test myself at the highest level. And that's why I'm looking at those players. We're not in a situation where, we can sign like Arda Güler at Real Madrid and I've been benched for half the season. We ain't seen him. Man comes on to doing flicks around over man's head. Do you know what I mean? First time touches because we're not that team. If he comes in, he's got to go and play. And now the onus is on you. Are you hungry now to go and deliver? We've seen with our youngsters, what have they done? Really and truly, bar Trent, what have our youngsters done at 18, 19, 20? That have come into the team now.
I hear it. No. I don't think they've done much anyway, but yeah. I feel like Konza's been good though. But yeah, in a general sense.
He's been good. But I'm talking about like, one that you're looking at and you're like, oh yeah, he's on the level of a Olise or whatever you're talking about. Like he's coming and it's like you're looking at him like, yeah, calm. You're like a Vinicius. You're coming in, but you're going to be the guy for the future. There's question marks over Elliott. There's question marks over Jones. There's question marks even over Kwanzaa. Some people are saying he's not good enough. There hasn't been this player that's come through the ranks as a youngster where Liverpool fans look at and unanimously say, oh, this guy's going to be top. Yeah. Like we've seen with other teams. That's the way I'm saying it. Like a Foden as an example.
That I definitely agree. Like that's something I've always said about Liverpool in regards to the youngsters. We're not producing that type of youngster, and I'm not saying that everyone does because you don't have to.
We're not even signing them though. We're not even signing them.
Fabio
Carvalho. We're signing. This is my point. We're signing Fabio Carvalho. So it's like, and if we can't keep Fabio Carvalho interested long enough, to not want to move away, how the hell do you think we're gonna get Elise, to sit on the bench and not play games?
You're right. Yeah, actually, you're right. Still, you're actually right. Big up RJ in the building. Do you guys think Salah can adapt to being a poacher?
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's got to have the mentality for it, though. He's got to just accept
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. If he can do that, I'm happy. If he still thinks, yeah, I'm this winger, he just keeps replaying
He's got
Watford
to do
over
the
and
Ronaldo thing, bro. He's got to follow CR7, blood. Fuck it. I'm not a winger anymore, I'm a striker, bro. And then use that as a new challenge.
Like, I'll keep it
now I know, but just use it as a challenge to be, you've completed everything as a winger. I need to be the best in the world as in my new position, bro, because otherwise it's over for him.
Yeah. Listen, Salah's my guy, but I don't see that in him. Like, Ronaldo had a hunger, like a different type of hunger that you just need in order to be able to move from one position to another. And still, obviously, I'm not saying, by the way, Salah has to operate at that level, but to even just operate at his own level, whatever you call it, I just don't see that in him. Where Ronaldo, I felt, was someone who, he changed up his whole game. Not whole game, but he changed up massive parts of his game. So that sacrificed him probably going out there on the wings and doing the tricks and the step overs and stuff like that. Because he said, you know what? I've only got one goal today, which is to get a goal. I need to make sure I learn how to get into the right positions. I need to make sure I learn how to finish in certain positions. I don't see obviously, listen, I would love Salah to just turn into the all-out number 9 poacher on the end of things, still got the pace, still got the strength kind of thing. I just don't see it, though. I don't know, man. I want that. I definitely want that, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it, unfortunately, for Salah. I feel like he's got to play either 10 or wing, and that wing position's got to be done differently. It's almost got to be done like how City do it with Grealish, which is, I don't need you to always run in behind, but what you do, I need you to do that. Basically, effectively, he's gonna have to turn into that type of winger where they're not that quick, even though he is quick, but they're not always gonna beat a man potentially. So it's gonna be more about cutting inside, playing the ball inside, potentially making that run for the 1-2s. I'm good with that if that's what the manager asks, but if not, Alex, looking peak, man. I'm trying to fight your battle, bro, but Jesus Christ, bro, it's really not. I'm running out of all of the excuses and stuff like that I could potentially use. When I'm ticking off the list, Jerry said this. Savage said, no, you can't do that. Okay, yeah, but can we do this? Nah, and then someone else put something in the chat and it just knocks away. Yo, we've only got 3 things left on this list, I promise you. Big up honesty. Question, even though I want Salah gone, isn't it better to keep the attackers we got and add to it because of the mad games we got to play next season?
There's only so many spots on that bench, man.
Yeah, for real.
And it's a 22-man squad, bro. You know what I mean?
I got to run, man, them client quickly.
Do you think I'm going to shout out in 10 minutes anyway.
Cool, all right, cool.
There's only so many spots in the team, bro. So someone's got to be leaving. And all of these, I think me and Jerry even spoke about this at the beginning of last season, talking about, is everyone going to be happy just doing this rotation and being on the bench for large periods of the season? I don't know. And I just think that was calm because we had Europa League. I don't see a world where we're going to be rotating like that in the Champions League. You don't really, no one really does that. You kind of keep your strongest team for Champions League and your strongest team for the game kind of thing. I don't see it. I don't see it. Someone's going to be upset with that. Someone's going to be upset.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad? I was just thinking about it as well. You see, having a Tony, yeah? Do you know why I think you might even get more than 3 seasons out of him? He's not reliant on his pace like that. So with sports science nowadays and that, if the ball's just coming into his feet, he's going to be calm. I just looked at when Chelsea signed Diego Costa, they signed him at 26.
Yeah.
And he was someone again that do you know what I mean? It's ball comes into your feet, bruv. If he can just hold up the ball, he's gonna be calm. If he don't have to go and do that mad Klopp Gagan press where you're just sprinting around and stuff, and you're just in a shape where the ball's coming into him, he'll be calm for even 3-4 seasons. And 3-4 seasons is calm for me, man. I don't need you staying for longer than that. I don't need you. No. I need an 89, 90 appearances from you, 55 goals, and you can cut.
Yeah,
you've done your job.
I will be over the moon with that, over the moon. If I got a striker who's getting that type of record, I'll be all right, well, he blatantly, because that's a 1 in 2. if not more. Like, yeah, I mean, like that's a good record for someone like him. So yeah. Big up, Steve. Would you take Adeyemi this summer?
I don't even know what he's about. I just see man burning Enzo and them doing flips and stuff. That's
Would I take him?
Is he good? You do your player watches, isn't it? So chat to me about Karim Adeyemi, man.
Savage probably because it was actually Dortmund and that's his people. But for me this season, like, you know what he is? Elise. He's that where they are of a good level, but they're nowhere near a finished article, and you're still trying to wait for them to hit that peak. But he's got the ego, I feel, of someone who's going to be like, bro, I need to start today, kind of thing. But you're not that good where I'm like, yeah, you start in a top team. But remember, maybe because I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Liverpool ain't a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So all of these guys would actually be probably super calm for us, if I'm being honest. Obviously pacey, but he's inconsistent as hell though. Super inconsistent. You cannot trust this brother to you can trust him as much as you can trust the Diaz to get you goals and assists. So however you look at that, however you kind of see that in terms of, do I trust Diaz to get me goals consistently? No. Do I trust him assist consistently? No. But do I trust him to get the odd purple patch period? Yes. And that's exactly how I see Adeyemi. He's that type of player. So would I spend the money on him? Nah, I probably just missed that one still. I'd rather just get Bowen. In that situation, just get Bowen.
Would you get Makuku? Would you get Makuku or Mokoku or whatever his name is?
No. I feel like he needs to go away and revamp his whole thing. Like
what rebrand his age again?
yeah, bro. Rebrand his age, rebrand his whole football, his style, because he came up too quick, and he came up so quick that now I feel like he's dropped. His stock is fallen on the floor. Not on the floor. That's exaggerating, but his stock is definitely fallen, kind of thing. Like big up here, you're talking about Xavi Simons. Yeah, if we needed someone to play in that 10 position, brother, I would sign him. Absolutely baller. Bro, baller since the Barca days. Like I see man in the academy, long hair and them thing there, just
blonde hair and that, just running like playing as a centre back and that.
Bro, he was a madness back then, and I think he's developed into a really good player. But I know PSG are going down the route of getting, like, they want a younger team. Like they're looking at young players basically to come into the team, and they're trying to develop. Look at Kolo Muani, quite relatively young, 24. Goncalo.
They're trying to get bare French players. That what they're trying to do. They're trying to do this French Renaissance thing where they're just grabbing bare French players in because they feel like they can connect with the players more, and it means more to them, innit, to win the Champions League. They don't want to go down that route where they're just signing. They just
but red foreigners, and bro, we've seen how this project has worked out for them. I feel like they're trying to revamp their project now, which is fair enough. To be fair, they got the money to really do any project they want. So if they're doing it now like this, and in my opinion, they've got one of the top academies in the world anyway, because some of the players that they have produced, if you look at where they've actually come from, is PSG. Yeah, I feel like I said Xavi Simons is another Elliot. Nah, he's better than Elliot. I'll take that for free.
I'm swapping them any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
He's got more pace. He's got more strength. Can shoot with both feet. Like he grew up in that Barca. Like, come on, let's not do this. Let's not do this, man.
No, I'm not even trying to crash it on Elliot, but nah, that's not a comparison.
I say we need a session, like, I don't know, in the summer, man, where every single day we just like crash it. We just go like Darwin Núñez crashing session, Elliot crashing session. Just crash it on every player, bro.
Late night vibe on crashing it on some of these guys. Big up YouTube name, that's a joke. Would you like to see a new striker signed, or Dan's be given an extended run next season? Nah, sign a new striker. Dan's ain't ready for this shit. Trust. Yeah, like Dan's ain't Michael Owen, like where man's just come through and you're like, yeah, this brother's got to play today. He's not that type of guy. I think, yeah, go out and get Tony. Like again, you're giving me the options, but I'm saying Tony every day of the week. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like Tony's a
that's the bait one, man. It's the only one out there that I'm looking at, and I'm like, you can get him. Like he will come.
Yeah.
Remember
he supports Liverpool. You know what I'm saying?
Not only does he support Liverpool, he's at a team that, like, they're not doing anything. Watkins at Aston Villa, you ain't grabbing them unless you're going to pay a mad amount of money. And Watkins, there's something about him I don't know, I just don't like. Maybe it's his name, Ollie. The fact he don't call himself Oliver, just Ollie, it annoys me. Ollie Watkins, then you got Isak at Newcastle, you ain't grabbing him. Who else is there as a forward? There's no one else there.
Yeah, I can't lie. There's not really that many
So
like
you
forwards
need
I'd want to
Tony.
grab.
This is my point. You need Tony because he knows the league. Like him playing against Newcastle is not gonna, or whether it's not gonna fluster him in it. He's gonna be looking like, bruv, just get the ball into my feet. I'm setting man off. Any other striker you buy outside of Europe, yeah, it might bang. It might not though. It might not. They might end up looking poor. They might end up looking like Beto. Beto was doing all right at Udinese. Look at him now.
Man's out with a concussion and everything there. Honestly, question: why can't some fans comprehend that Edwards is running the club, not FSG? They just signed the checks because they are blaming FSG for the Arne Slot appointment. Save that again. Any Arne Slot stuff, guys, save it for this evening, 7 p.m. We're gonna talk about it.
I dream. Hey, G, you're doing streams like an 80-year-old badders, man. I got a 7 p.m. show. I got a morning show.
Bro, I'm listen, whilst I'm free right this moment for the next couple of weeks, whilst I'm free, guys, I'm making sure I'm getting the shows in as much as humanly possible.
Guys, smash the damn like, man.
Come on, man. You have to do it. Because once you get to brother, you and I both know, when you get to that period where it's like, I actually can't do the show today. And then one day it turns into 2, turns into 3. Yeah, let me get everything up to that point and then we can do that.
And then you got to take a sabbatical like myself.
Yeah, bro, and this is it. So I said, I know that time will come, especially because my son's going back to he's going to primary school for the first time. So I know there's going to be a period of time where I'm not going to be available. So I said, let's get as much done as possible. Edwards will be ruthless with players who aren't good enough and players with 1 year left. That's what we pray. It's back to how it was 5 years ago. Oh, yeah, see this. Why can't we show some? I think, I went through it. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Question: would you man take? Oh, Matisse Tell from Bayern. He's just like another project kind of player. Like he's not dead. He's not great.
You could go to like Palace, and no one would even bat an eyelid. You'd be like, that's a decent signing. That's it. It's not like
it's true. And boy, the way Palace are playing now, I mean, would that even be such a bad option? Like flipping up, they seem to got some crazy. Don't know. Their manager seems to have gotten into the tactics and stuff, and they're just looking different now. I can't even front. I can expect Palace, and big up. I'm saying big up my South London crew. I feel like Palace next season, if they get the transfers, they might be a surprise package in some shape or form. If they can keep Elise and Eze, if they can keep those two, that's the only way that I can do it. The G Springer show. You men are done. They've been a much loved brother, deserves many more. Yeah, bro, guys, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. I actually don't know. I think we're on like over 40 likes or whatever. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do. Liverpool FC is a whole show in itself. Bro, I promise you, if me and like Jerry just mentioned that show there as a joke right there, bro, there's bare shows ideas you could do for Liverpool. Trust me. Like this summer will be very interesting to see how things go. But we'll leave it there anyway. We've been almost on here for about coming up to 2 hours and 45 minutes, a long time. Big up everybody inside the damn building. Make sure, again, as I said, smash the like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Jerry regardless. Subscribe to Jerry. Just keep. I want when Jerry gets to 10K, he'll be back. So if you guys can get him to 10K, Jerry will be back. Jerry will be back. Subscribe to Savage, of course. I think N said he might do a show later on this evening. After my video at 7. So just make sure you keep your notification bells on. Make sure you subscribe to the Bayesian crew. Please big up Pops inside. As I said, we will be back. Let me see if I got it up here. This is what we got for this evening. The puzzle that is Arne Slot. Definitely going to be an interesting one. Definitely going to be one to look to unpack in terms of his role next season, what he's maybe potentially looking for. Of course, we already now know everyone's done their 100 videos of how he plays and all of that and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Which players do we think may potentially leave? Which ones are staying? Obviously, now we know that Mo Salah's likely going to stay at Liverpool. So, man, we're going to chop it all up. We're literally going to chop it up and see what go on. Jerry, any final words before we leave?
I'm so glad
that Jurgen is a red. I'm so glad his reign of terror is dead. There we go. I'm calm.
Question: do we need to do a Jerry Springer type show for the mandem who want Salah to stay versus the ones that want Salah to leave? I'll let Ends in his agenda do something like that. He's got the agenda. Let him do that. He'll do it. He'll do it at some point in time. Like I said, keep your notification bells on, guys, and then we'll move from there. But guys, love for the love. It's always fun. As I said, we'll be back 7 p.m. And again, we'll be back tomorrow morning. I don't even know what's on for tomorrow morning, but just keep your notification bells on. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.
Boom.